What up? We're not about to go and wait. We're just gonna get straight into it today, baby. Let's go. Hope you are, if you are lurking, thank you for lurking and getting those points for your houses. Today is the last day to just gather up the points for those houses, cause reasons and whatnot. Reasons and things. Yay. Yeah. All right. Well, over. I think we're mostly good. We got. Let's go here. All right. Let's go in here. We don't do open. Let's go in here. Yeah. Welcome back, Commander. Thank you. How dare I not respond to me saying thank you? How horrible a person am I? Well, I just said thank you, man. I said nothing. I'm offended. All right, so let's get it in. Boom. Checking all systems. Done. Good job. Thank you. Launch the co-pilot.
Starting the ED co-pilot main process.
Perfect.
Please stand by.
Where's the thing right
The
here?
ED co-pilot
Reset.
process is starting.
Good. Good. As it should. Can we reset here? Reset there. Good. I'm good. Good. Uh-oh. Okay.
Prime subscription.
Ho, ho, ho.
Oh, look, this is a thing, DJK Grin.
Welcome back. Appreciate the support. Appreciate your Dark Legion mage. What up? What up? Oh, what up? Oh, what up? All right, so we made Elite yesterday finally in trade, which I've been excited for a long time. Luckily, we started this whole thing at like 600 something million. We're at 913 million, and we're definitely gonna make a bunch of trips with this. So do it. Dave, I had the feeling that you were joking. I was about to say, like, you know full well the answer to that question. You know what you're doing. All right. Let me see. Stupid. Inara. All right, so we're kicking off. Thanks again for Thrustmaster for sponsoring our time in the game, because we got these Solar 2s. We're sponsored by Thrustmaster now, and in a little bit we're going to swap it to an Alienware sponsored stream, cause reasons. And also thanks. Yay. But let's get it in and get some disrespectful stuff going for these enemies. All right. Not really enemies. Watching UFC while your streams up. Appreciate you. Who's fighting? Where should I go from the start? Played it before, just never understood where to go. If you're starting Elite, literally do as little as possible. Do the tutorials a bunch of times and go to your missions. Appreciate you, Moxie. Wishing you the best as well. Elite or Star Citizen? Yes. Japan Emir. Do both. Like, anybody tells you not to do both, I would say they're wrong. Don't follow the incorrectness of, like, no, only do one of these. Like, they're both great games. It's BG. Oh, you changed your name. Okay. So now there's no chance of me calling you the other thing. All right. Elite and Corvus and Everspace always confuse me. Chorus. See, I feel like Chorus is a fantastic flight game. Star Citizen gave me scammy vibes. Why would you say scammy vibes? Because I've been playing Star Citizen for like a decade, so I could tell you a thing that could change the way you look at Star Citizen. A lot of people look at Star Citizen angrily. Let's not go that hard, Dave. It's more just like if we want people to understand where it's coming from, you gotta meet people where they are. Lots of paying and seem I'm totally ignorant. I'm gonna tell you a thing about Star Citizen that may change your opinion of Star Citizen. The only thing you ever need to spend in Star Citizen is the price of a base package. And yes, I know we're in Elite right now, but we're having a Star Citizen conversation. We do this a lot. Having played both of these games for a decade, I have a little bit of the inside scoop about these conversations. Now, Japan Amir, have you ever engaged in a Kickstarter? That, I feel like, is the first question. Have you ever supported a project that was in Kickstarter? Yes. Perfect. Star Citizen is its own developer. All they're doing is continuing the Kickstarter of their game. That's it. It may seem like a lot of, like, you got to buy this and you got to buy this and you got to buy that. You need to buy nothing. The only thing you ever need to buy in Star Citizen is a package. A base package is it. It's it. Anything more than that is wrong. Like, you never need to do more than base package. So, for example, I purposefully went to Kickstarter to show. I literally just selected video games, sorted by. I don't care. Like, where's the? Do I have to like press another thing? Like, I could have sworn I just said video games. This don't look like these aren't video games. You son of a. Let me woosah myself, cause reasons. Like, I see people questioning or questing or traveling, and it looked kind of empty. Star Citizen has been kind of empty for the most part because typically there's only like 50 players. There had only been like 20 to 50 players per server. When I started playing Star Citizen, there were not really massive stuff in the servers, right? Like, there was a handful of stuff. There was like a couple different space stations that were available, but mostly like 15, 20 people over a whole star system. And now they have full planets that you can traverse, like literally to scale. There are craters in Star Citizen that are larger than the landmass of the entire GTA universe combined. You could put all of the GTA games into one crater of Star Citizen. And now we're at, it's not 600 per server, it's 600 per instance, because each, you can have basically 100 players per server still. They just meshed the servers and connected them so that there's 600 people that can fit into one server. So it's 6 separate servers connected to make one server that I feel like half of it is one star system and half of it is another star system. So there's 2 star systems in Star Citizen. And like the first star system has 3 planets, something like 12 moons. And when I say moons, I mean like actual moons. Like, it would take a day to, if you tried to walk from one end to the other, 1, you would die of hunger and thirst at some point. But 2, if you didn't involve food, you could take a vehicle on the ground and then drive over the surface, and it would take you like a day. There's a lot of space in Star Citizen because it's a lot. We're not in Star Citizen. We're just talking about Star Citizen. And there's PvE and there's PvP. There's PvEVP essentially in Star Citizen. It's MMO. You want to be a pirate? You can go find another player, light them up. They got a nice ship. Is it open? Cool.
Blow that bitch up.
Take it. GG's. Thanks. That's what you can do in Star Citizen. But the thing is, I pulled up this Kickstarter. I don't know anything about this game, but it's a video game, right? So if we start and we want to go to, see, that's not the game really yet. Where's it? Which one of these includes the game? Character art pack. Let me see. Yeah, see, this is it. You believe in us. Thanks. Character art pack and get some collectibles. Your mission starts now. I feel like this is the base package of the game, because your mission starts now leads me to believe that that's where you actually get a copy of the game. So that's $14 Canadian to start backing this project, right? But if we continue down and we scroll from that 14, you can do a lot more stuff. You can support them in a lot more ways, up to 3,500 Canadian, and do work for a game that might cost you 15, 20 bucks. Do you have, if you were looking into this game and you like this game, would you want to spend 3,500 Canadian? Probably not. Probably not. Average person would never need to pay that much. But somebody who believes in the project would. Now, one of the things I want to bring in regards to Star Citizen, because of that, is you can back Star Citizen for the price of a game. So let's look at the shop. Let's just look at the pledge store. We just want to look at base packages. So if we look at the base packages, and I feel like they're going to give us more than base packages right now. Yeah, we got, those are additional stuffs. That's just gear. So like, let's look at game packages, right? So we don't like to showcase a lot of the other stuff in Star Citizen because all you ever need to worry about is this top 6. I do play Star Citizen, Justin. How's Elite Grand going? We just hit Elite in trade yesterday. I'm pretty excited about it. We're about to do more hauling. But look, 4-star citizen. We're talking about the most you ever need to do. Really, the most you ever need to spend is this. I have an org. It's called the Night Corps. We are a bounty hunting and security providing organization. So I would recommend, while I like the idea of the Mustang as a starter, my preference, I would recommend somebody to hop into something like this. Get into a Drake cutter, and then you never need to really do anything else. This is the start of your journey in Star Citizen. You have all you need to play Star Citizen, and you're gravy. The Drake Cutter is a fantastic starter ship. It's got space for you to do box missions. It actually has a decent amount of work in actually defending you from other people. You got options. That's all you ever need to spend on Star Citizen. And that's still a higher tier of a Kickstarter reward than you would get with the Mustang. The Mustang is good. My recommendation would be the Cutter. $60, spend nothing else in Star Citizen. Everything else that you can get in Star Citizen, for all intents and purposes, you can get with in-game currency. There's a handful of ships that you can't buy yet because they basically just released. And when a ship in Star Citizen just releases, just like in Elite, you can get that ship right now if you want to pay ARCs. But 3 months, and then you can buy it in-game. Why can't Star Citizen be like 20? Because, like I said earlier, you might have missed it, the landmass on Star Citizen is sizable enough that one crater in Star Citizen on one moon of one planet, like literally, there's a planet that has a moon. That moon has a crater big enough to fit all of the landmass of all of the Grand Theft Autos combined. And part of the reason that it's open is because they literally are putting in, they said as of last October, November, they said 12 to 18 months until there's crafting. And the crafting is likely to include base crafting. So you'll be able to make bases and have your base on a moon that nobody else is near. Or people can be near there. And then you can have somebody try to assault your base, but you'll still have your base. So there's a lot of stuff that goes on in what's going on in that game. It is bigger than the vast majority of games. They're doing things that nobody really is trying to do because it takes a long time. And with a long time and having a lot of people working on it, you need a lot of funding. So they do need, at some point, people who have the money to be like, yeah, I'm going to give them more money. But does the average person have to? Fuck no. And even if you did give them more money, it's basically paying to skip having to raise the funds in game to get the thing, because you want to be one of the people who gets the biggest ship in the game. Good luck flying it. You're gonna need a team of people. You want to get an Idris and spend stupid money? You can, but you will never be able to defend yourself in it against a good amount of ships. You might have 1 or 2 guns at your disposal. To get all of the guns manned, you probably need 12 to 15 people in addition to yourself. So don't worry about when people say like,
oh, you gotta spend too much.
no, the fuck you don't. Excuse my American. You just need to play. Build your stacks. Stack up your cash and be good. How much does you have to grind to get other ships? I mean, it depends on what you're trying to get. Like, depends on what you do in the game. You can really grind up enough to rent another ship. It'll take you a handful of missions, maybe a couple days, to get enough money to rent a mining ship or a salvage ship. In my opinion, salvage is probably one of the better choices. Get a salvage ship. Salvage ships that are out in space and broken that nobody's gonna touch again. Get the credits. Go sell the stuff that you just scraped off the ship, and then do it again. You get missions where you get paid to do that, and you still get the recyclable material that you get to sell and get money from. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff to do in Star Citizen. Can I hijack AI ships, though? Not yet. Having an Idris, 2 people can man it easy. Not to its full extent. Not to its full capability. 4th Street Pete with the loves. Right back. Appreciate you. So you could do it. Just because you can do it doesn't mean it's to be done. Let's put it that way. In the meantime, Galaxy Map. Cartography for navigation. Thank you. Doing well, Tactical Fox. How about yourself? Also, I see Cypher Tier. What up? And yes, we got to sneak these sneaky weekend strums in because reasons. Is this the right way? What's this? We got a heart me. Appreciate you. Is No Man's Sky bigger than Star Citizen? No Man's Sky is bigger than the vast majority of video games. Once you go to like New Game Plus and No Man's Sky, it starts a whole nother tier of procedural generation. So yeah, TLDR, yes. No Man's Sky is bigger than Star Citizen. No Man's Sky is, I feel like, bigger than Elite Dangerous. It's just that it's a different level of procedural stuff. All right, so we want the commodities. Did you forget that I just clicked in a browser, bro? Like, it's a browser. You better let me browse. I'm here playing games. Started colonizing the system. Might have bitten off more than I can chew. Oh no, it's just gonna take time. It's a lot of hauling to get that done. We were going to Gaspar de Lemos. Yeah. Let me copy that. So let's go over to here, and then cargo capacity 720, and then view additional options. I don't care about those. Include round trip search. So let me see if I can find Gaspar de Lemos. No. I don't think. It must not be looking right. Oh, what do we got? We got Fabio. Appreciate you with the follow. Thanks much. Played No Man's Sky until I visited every system. That's impossible. There's not enough time in the world to have done that. You've visited 15 quintillion star systems.
Hey, yo, who mans is this?
Now, every galaxy I might allow, because there's maybe a couple, but like every star system, no, not happening. With joysticks, these are the Thrustmaster Solar 2s. We're in the midst of a sponsored portion of our stream because of Thrustmasters. Appreciate you. Appreciate the follow. Why do I keep trying to sip as if there's water in that? We want a Pura. Max distance 30. Because I know that there's a star system that we literally were in.
Hey, streamer.
Huh?
Hydrate.
How dare you? What even is this? You mean to tell me that we don't have this? Look, bro, like there's literally trade route search. Target stations. Yes, there we go. Gaspar de Lemos. Boom. So if we take fruit and veg, we buy fruit and veg here, we sell the fruit and veg at Gaspar de Lemos, and we get 288 creds per. Okay. So fruit and veg, synthetic fabrics.
This is a posture check.
Huh?
Streamer,
Stand up. All right, I'm standing. It really is fruit and veg. That's really it. It's really just fruit and veg. Fruit and veg.
subscription.
Oh! Appreciate the prime submarinos.
Someone made a mistake here. I don't watch ads.
That's fair. That's a very fair point. Double stick, yes. Very grindy game. Every video game is a grindy game. Everyone. The head tracker has 3 different lasers. There's a webcam that looks for the lasers and it triangulates my head's position. Rate Star Citizen Elite from 0 to 10. You are new here because I don't do rates. I'm a firm believer in the if you like, you will like. If then statements are my preferred way to describe whether or not games like. For example, if you like a game that does not hold your hand, if you like space and science fiction, you will probably like Elite Dangerous and Star Citizen. And Elite Dangerous. If you like the idea of exploring the Milky Way galaxy, and when I say the Milky Way galaxy, you may think I'm talking about a lot of stuff. I'm talking about the actual Milky Way galaxy. You can actually go in, and every dot, right now, every dot you see on the screen is an entire star system. Whether or not somebody's been there, nobody knows. But I do know that like less than 2% for sure of the landable space of the stars that exist in this game have been found. Less than 2%. So if we go in here, as you get to the center of the universe, there's a lot more stars. You want to make it your way out there, do it. It's going to take a while. That's 26,174 light years, and my jump range is about 28 light years in this current ship. So, jump from one side to the other took me 17 days of just hours of jumping. Neutron helps. Neutron is useful. Pretty sure it's less than 0.3%. I know, I don't know what. I feel like I remember seeing that years ago, but also I haven't seen an updated number from Frontier, so I don't want to be incorrect. And I've seen something that said like 1 point something, so I don't want to be a liar. Can you get out of your ship? If you get Odyssey, yes. This is what Odyssey does. It gives you space legs. Thank you. I like cheese and crackers. Lala brought me cheese and crackers. Can you put me water in here, please? Thank you. Go friend. Thank you.
No, if you blow up, they are destroyed.
Didn't get the feeling to continue the game. The thing about Elite is, Elite is very much the kind of game that you need to figure out what you want to do. Right? No Man's Sky has a campaign, a story mode per se. Elite's story is literally the community goals. I don't like an Elite that I can't walk on the ship. That's fair. I understand. But luckily, I'm in a massive space station that lets me walk around it. 3 years in the bubble doing shipping runs before I realized I could travel further. Yeah. It sneaks up on you. Caught live. The host podcast now. Oh, I know that one.
We just after your kill tags.
Live Lave, I don't know. I just know I know who you're talking about. But EliteDangerous' goals, community goals, are literally the story of Elite. So right now we're in the top 50% of this community goal, which means at the end of it we get 160 million credits plus the global rewards, which include yay, water. Thank you very much.
We all here for our own thing.
Lala brought me water. So the rewards we get: one, commodity sold as a part of this initiative will have a 55x price multiplier. So however much I bring, I get back. I can buy something for 1,000 and they get 55,000 back. You don't deny that. One of my favorite steak cuts for grilling, mostly ribeye. Anything that has a good fat to meat ratio is, in my opinion, a good one. Forget how many hours I have playing Elite, but it's well over 1,000. Nothing wrong with that. It's a good way to be. Actually, really shocked. I've been playing EliteDangerous since December 2015. I've heard of a lot in reference to EliteDangerous. Okay, let me see. One of my favorite things is like the community goals actually lead to a lot of other stuff. Like there was a writer who wrote books about Elite that the player community got to do a part of a community goal, which was, I can't remember the name of the one. I want to say it was Amazing Duval was an in-game character, but I do know that like Commander Harry Potter blew them up, and legally they couldn't use the name Commander Harry Potter in the book, so they had to rename that because of reasons. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that happens in Elite. Elite is a very deep game. It had basically fallen off a little bit after Odyssey dropped, because Odyssey, giving you on-foot combat, it is a game that is literally started out in space and then scales down. It started at the galactic scale, and then they added everything to get you to be on foot. Star Citizen starts you on foot and then grows you up to be at a galactic scale. Adding in on-foot stuff when you've been making things at the galactic level was a little bit more than, you know, everybody expected it to be on launch. It was not optimized. So the Xbox One, the PS4 could not play the games as smoothly as we would like. I'm doing well. What up, Kobe? Am I standing? I am standing. Also, what's up? Right back at you. So yeah, geography, like, you know what I'm talking about. We got Pepino with a follow. Appreciate you. All right, so in addition to the 160 million as its current state, if it gets to tier 3, those are going to go up. We get one of each 6A, 4A, 3A, 4D, and 3D pre-engineered power distributors with both system and engine focused modifications and credits. Pilots in the top 75% above, regardless of their pledged power, will receive an additional one each pre-engineered power distributors. That's dope in and of itself. Now, personally, I wanted to support Kane just because I feel like with Kane, even though I'm not in power play because I don't like power play for the most part, I do like the idea of working power play for a power that is focused on mining because I do really like mining in Elite. Am I playing in open? I'm not a griefer. Let me tell you something, Delta Flyer. If your first question is,
Are you playing in open?
and the next thing you say is,
I'm not a griefer.
guess what that makes me believe you are? My first question is,
Hey, yo, who mans is this?
my second question is, why? But also, really, I'm not in open, so it doesn't matter. All right, so let me see. It seems like MMA is winning this. I don't care, though. I'm glad they did announce that they changed the community goals to make sure that regardless of who you were pledged to, you still get goodies. But simultaneously, I think the frustrating part is like they did it later in the CG, and I feel like that could have been better handled
Cargo hold.
at maximum capacity. I'm still only 2 jumps away from this place, you know. Galaxy map.
Displaying.
Join the Mobius private group. I'm actually in Mobius. I just decided against Mobius while we were playing, because I had a lot of people who were trying to get into where I was playing, because I played a lot in Mobius. After the barnacles, I was taking an Asp Explorer out to explore the barnacles because, for all intents and purposes, a lot of people were doing cool Thargoid stuff near the barnacles, and I wanted to engage. I basically ended up getting real bodied multiple times in open, so I switched to Mobius right after that. But I know multiple people who have applied in Mobius, and they were not getting accepted. So I don't even know if Mobius mods were still there to do what we need to get more people in there. But yes, I am in Mobius. How many games do you have in your library? Me in my Steam library? Thousands. Thousands. Absolutely thousands. And I keep getting more games all the time. Also, if you're curious, these are the Thrustmaster Solar 2 flight sticks. I'm very glad that we finally actually get to get off the ground and go do some stuff with them.
Ship released. Allow for oncoming traffic in the exit.
Oh, another Type 9er. Type 9s all day, all day. Have a makeshift fuel rat ship. Bro, what are you doing? Why are you going backwards?
Are you ready to leave?
What the hell? If you don't go through the slot, what are you going backwards for? No. Sheesh. Trying to get me finished. Now the question is, will this trade route give me enough value for bringing the fruit and veg? Because we add another jump to do it. Is that a good enough balance for me to continue doing it? Let's try it after this first jump and see what kind of money we could get with it. But realistically, I feel like it just adding that extra jump doesn't really necessarily do any good. Because for real, there's nothing that's gonna beat a 55 times money. I think I might get like half of what I put into this. So I think we're gonna get like less than $1 million back. And if that's the case, then that's just silly. I'm just gonna go to the 2 jumps. You can extend your jump range. Oh no, you're good. Right now, we are literally jumping between 2 star systems that are with unladen 2 jumps apart. Engage jump.
Frame shift.
Because I like getting paid, and this community goal does that. I like money. I like money. Lots and lots of money. Hey. I like money, my guy. I wanna be rich. I do wanna be rich. Oh. I went way back with that one. You're welcome. You're welcome in advance. You earwormed me. It's gonna be in there for the rest of the day. You're welcome. What's up? Hello, right back at you. I don't know how to pronounce that.
Fuel scooping.
I would like to, but I just don't know how to say that aloud. Why are you playing Elite? You should be on the radio. Why do you say that? Like what radio?
Fuel scoop disengaged.
Engage jump.
Jump drive.
Jump drive. Engaging. Thank you. Me. Oh, that singing voice. Appreciate you. Ah! Good job, self. That is a compliment. I was concerned. I thought it was just like, you got a face for radio. I was like, oh shit. What did I do? What did I do? What did I do to my boy? Look what they did to my boy. Gonna see Bear McCreary perform in a couple hours. I am jealous as all hell. Bear is fantastic. I'm still stoked that I got to meet Bear McCreary. Considering how many theme songs of his that I've heard over the years, and like, I still am in love with the shape of things to come from the Battlestar soundtrack. It is one of the absolute best orchestral pieces I've ever heard in my life, and I don't know how dude does so many different shows. And you can hear that it's him, but like, they all sound different enough that it's delightful. You had to meet him, to go to a concert. I mean, still, like, I thought you were. It was at the Game Awards the year I was there.
System scan for cartography.
I still have a picture with him, and I got to meet Mr. Judge, Mr. Boy. You have a great ship, thank you. Didn't get to kick it with the folks afterward. No fun. EliteDangerous got me into X4 Foundations. That's what happens with a lot of these games, Enzigo. A lot of them go from one game to another. Engage jump.
Jumping.
Like, I have X4 Foundations. I have a couple DLC from it. I have Everspace 2, Everspace 1, Chorus. Somebody mentioned Chorus earlier, which is a fantastic game. Made from the same devs, I believe. And then, fuck man, we can go for hours talking about space games. Hard Space Shipbreaker. Oh my god. 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 Those are fire. Hell yeah, Cypher. Hell yeah, T. See, I feel like we're not gonna have the Gaspar de Lemos. If it was the second L, it would be the Gaspar de Lemos, but it's not. It's not. I want to say Gamos every time I see that. But yeah, X4 Foundations. I feel like the thing that I had with X4 Foundations was very much like the beginning of Elite for me, because there's so much you can do that I was just like, nope, I'm out. Like, it was very quickly too much happening here. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm out. And I think I didn't. If I had dedicated a full like stream to it, it'd be one thing. But I feel like even that just felt like not enough. So like, at some point I'm gonna go back in and do more with X4. But as of right now, it just felt like the beginning of Elite. Really, it's like, I don't know what I'm doing here. None of this makes sense. I'm out. A game that do not enjoy playing at all. Grav. Grav was butt cheeks. The Culling 2, I absolutely despise, because they ruined what was a perfect game. They could have kept the Culling, and like, the Culling was a perfect balance of a battle royale with like a crafting system and like a cool amount of like intriguing like weapon play, right? Like, if you had a knife, the potential was you could parry somebody and like actually go back and then get back and forth and actually have like a battle. It was like a rock, paper, scissors almost, but it was like there was an interplay there. And then they went and tried to put the Culling 2 out, and on launch day it was just ass cheeks. So yeah, no, did not enjoy the Culling 2. Definitely disliked the Grab. Broke Kong fans' heart. Yeah. 4 federal gunships attacked me. I mean, that seems like a good reason to not have an Anaconda anymore. That's a lot of gunships. Have I found Raxley yet? No. Has anybody? Really? Found a CD of X4 and free game shelves. Sadly, no Steam code. Oh, that sucks. Which would explain why the discs were there. Disengage, Cruz.
Drives disengaging.
Thank you. Tried? No, that's fair. That is a long-held theory in Elite that Raxley exists. Access granted. Make your way to landing pad 17. Those kicks are dope, Cypher, for real. Missiles, fragment cannons, everything. I mean, federal gunships will get you. Like, surprisingly enough, a gunship is little, but that thing is beefy. You can get those things out with weapons. Speaking of anacondas, hey buddy.
Dictate you must reduce your speed immediately.
Man, I don't feel like reducing my speed. I'm already going slow, bro. Like, I'm in a boat. This thing is not doing anything. This thing is a big rig. Like, it's a slow mover. Deploy landing gear.
Gear down.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, turn it, tilt it. Yeah, there it is. We're good.
Landing gear deployed.
Yeah, buddy. Whoa! Tight, but we landed. A little schmacky smack, but we got it in time.
Contact confirmation. Ground crew dispatched.
Contact confirmation, ground troop. What control these is a Thrustmaster Solar 2s. Exclamation SOLR on Twitch. It's in the description on the YouTubes. On TikTok, you're gonna have to take my word for it. Cause reasons. Damn, the timing of that timer though. Well played, timer. All right, so let me go to sell and then get this fruit and veg. How much did we make from the fruit and veg? 207,000. Yeah, no. I think I want the shorter trips instead of doing all that. I would rather have the shorter trips. The only reason I feel like they didn't use superconductors is because I feel like,
Cargo hold at maximum
think about that.
capacity.
Buying 59, 5,000 credits times 55, bro. Like, they would have made instantaneous billionaires. The artist in motion with the follow. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. So we're not going to be hauling nothing but super semiconductors. That's just a little much. Let's see. Exit. If I brought my big old boy over here, right? Like, look at that cutter. I brought my Holly boy over here. Let me see what we got in the pocketbooks. I'm a boy. 672 cargo capacity. If we took the shields out. We can have that at plus 64. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Just am I in the mood to have no shield? I don't know. Am I feeling bold? Am I still doing the CG or am I just doing cargo runs? I'm definitely doing the CG because we started at like 600-something credits. I'm at 913 right now. Over like 2 days of hauling. Like I'm trying to continue hauling. Let's go. So what I could do is, what's my jump range? My shields are better, surprisingly enough, but like the armor is more. Top speed is better. The frame shift drive on laden is worse, but like laden is way better. So like, do it, man. It's gonna cost me 5.8 mil. I'm gonna make more than that delivering. So we can bring the cutter here, and then we'll probably just have a much nicer time with a bunch of little stuff, and then adjust it. And then as long as we have another, not a cargo bay. Yeah, as long as they have another size 6 cargo, we'll be fine. It's gonna suck otherwise. We'll find out. What up, Demirio? How you doing? What's your strongest ship? Ooh, that's a toughie. I have not really built a lot of ships for fighting. I had a federal gunship. That was a problem. Pretty sure I sold it. Okay, we already bought all the semiconductors. Let me see. We have like 8 ships now. So we got the Type 9. Oh yeah, the gunship was, I'm pretty sure the gunship was my dude. The Corsair is probably my closest to a damaging ship at this point. And it needs work. It needs work. Yeah, we got a size 3 pulse laser, multi-cannons. Yeah, that's it. Like, I wanted to switch that to one of those to a rocket. I wanted to switch one of those large to a rocket. But then that also adds another part to the equation. Like, do I have pulse lasers and multi-cannons on the same loadout? Like, on 1 and 2? There's no third option. So, like, do I set the pulse lasers to 1, right? And then set the multi-cannons and the bombs and those missiles to the 2? It's a tough choice. Dude's always docked in the station. I never seen you in space. Then you should have got here not even 2 minutes ago. Nader. Also, what up? What's going on, Harrison? Appreciate the follow. Thank you much. We are bringing in another ship here. Here, look. Since you're talking about...
Bro don't never go to space.
Here, look. God forbid I actually talk to the people who are coming and hanging out with us. who likes to talk to people who are in here hanging out and enjoying ourselves. Like, who would do that? Who would do such a thing? Who would do such a thing? I mean, I'll just literally just slide over and click this because I don't need to save that. Apuda. I think just need to see how long it's going to be before that arrives. But Puka Dock, we're done there. And then let's see. You want to run guns and missiles? You could easily assign them to different fire groups, lasers. That is. I mean, the problem is there's 2 fire groups. I don't want to have to switch them to another one, because then I have to like be very, very specific about switching the fire group. Like, it's too much. It's too much. Because every time the way I've set my fire groups is my scroll wheel here on this thumb switches my fire groups, and I regularly like jump fire groups accidentally. So like I don't want to set myself up for sadness, because sometimes I move too fast, and in the middle of a battle, I'm not trying to set myself up for that. So I like to keep it simple as possible. What's the difference between this and Star Citizen? Design. The key for this is that their goal with this started on creating a procedural generation of the Milky Way galaxy, and then with 31 minutes. Once they did that, they added in more. Star Citizen started at a personal level. Once they got the personal stuff in a small space working, then they added planets that are massive planets, like proper sized moons. Then they started adding in more details on the planets, and then now that they have that, a lot of people don't understand how far Star Citizen has come and how much work they've done to get what they have. A lot of people see it and they're just like, oh, this sucks, not really considering the fact that they've basically done what nobody thought could be done. They took a game that was made for like 12 square kilometers at most, and then made it something that can fit entire moons and stars with no load screen. That's ridiculous, man. How is it? This game is great in my opinion, but engage jump.
Frameship drive engaging.
If you have to own a large vessel, my current ship is a Phantom set up for jump distance. There's nothing wrong with that. Crate Phantom is a dope choice. I'm pretty sure that's what my Crate Phantom is set up for. Elite better? No, Elite's different. That's it. If your goal in Elite was to have gunplay, then you're gonna like Star Citizen more.
So listen up.
I like Zen.
Key systems are at optimal.
How you gonna tease me with the Zen and then not Zen me? I'm offended.
Gathering information.
I need to make a video about this because I answer this question every day, so many times. Literally, I helped just answer that question, Adrian. EliteDangerous is a procedural generation of the Milky Way galaxy that they added more fine stuff to over time. Star Citizen is a game that aims to have at most 120 something star systems. Elite has already billions. Major difference there. Engage jump.
Charging.
Also, EliteDangerous, while it is connected to the internet at all times, is instanced. So the most I feel like you'll find of other players is maybe 16, 24 in local areas. Star Citizen is an MMO, so you'll have hundreds, and you have the potential of putting them all in the same place. So they're just different. They're different games. Elite is much more flight sim, IMO. I mean, they're both. Once you get behind the cockpit with a flight stick, they're both flight sims.
All systems check out. No one
Elite doesn't engage with food at all. Star Citizen requires food. So there's a lot to it. Like, they're both sims in different ways. Elite is definitely more of a traditional flight sim, but like there's no runways. So since there's no runways where you have to like lift off, you have landing pads. In which case both games are similar. What am I flying with is a Type 9. Engage jump.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Oh, sorry. Jump drive. Engaging.
The scale of Elite is so fascinating to me. The amount of discovered systems is minuscule, 0.3%, 0.03%. Yeah, and that's. I still need to find. I need to find from Frontier a more recent number, because I feel like it's been that way for years, and the amount of people that are out there doing stuff, I don't think it's the same. You get joysticks for PS5, you can. I don't think these will work for the PS5, but the PS5 does have flight sticks. They're rare because there's not a lot of games that would need them, but they exist.
Fuel scooping.
I feel like the T-Flight HOTAS X is obviously an Xbox version, but I feel there's a T-Flight that works for PlayStation.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
I need to double check that so that I'm not a liar. But yeah, the scale of Elite is what sold me on it. Hands down, no questions. Immediately. Do, 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 do. Bum, 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 bum. Did I participate in the Thargoid War when it was at its peak? No, I did not, sadly. The Thargoid War, I feel like the one that kicked off in December, leading into January, is why I got back into Elite. I had stopped playing after Odyssey dropped just because the optimization of it was not what I was a fan of. But once they got to work and coming back in January, finding out that they had released multiple new ships was one of the things I was frustrated about in Elite. When I stopped playing in 2021, I was like, bro, it's been years since y'all gave us a new ship. And now they're almost releasing new ships every 3 months. Like, we just got the Corsair in March, and then next month we get
New shit.
Epic Lola Girl, welcome back. Appreciate the 110 months. That's a long time. That's a long time. Appreciate you. It's so boring. What's so boring? Depends on what you're trying to do. There's a lot of stuff that could be boring depending on what you want to get out of the game. You want to go be a pirate and go into the thick of things? By all means. This view? This is kind of dope in my opinion. That's just me. For eternity? What? By the fact that there's so many star systems? That's very intriguing. You do know that you can get out of your ship, right? We can't get out of the ship and go do stuff on foot. Like, literally, that's my character. Those are my weapons that I have in this loadout. I could get a fighter that hangs in the ship. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's going on in Elite. Like, what are you looking for that we don't have with this? Or that you don't see right now? Disengage, cruise.
Disengaging.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
More than this, I mean, if you don't like space trucking, then go get in a pirating or shooting people. Like, there's things that you can do. Heard there's new enemies. The Thargoids have been hefty enemies for a long time, so I don't even know what about new enemies would be. Haven't installed, haven't really gotten into it yet. Do it, Sim. How powerful does my PC need to be to run a league? Because I ran Star Citizen and it didn't last. I feel like if you even could get Star Citizen started and moving around in Star Citizen, you should play Elite just fine. I feel like the current generation of consoles should be able to play Elite, no issues. It's the same? Like what though? Like, what's the same?
Permission authorized. Clear to land on
I know it was authorized. That's why I asked for it. Quit playing. Every station? Well, they have bases, like base types. No, of stations that they use. So this station, if once we get inside, if you look around, it's like plants, right? Like you see a lot of plant-looking stuff. That kind of gives you a hint as to what they make here. Like, this is a place that seems like it does a lot of growing things. If you went into a mining station, it would look very different on the inside. But realistically, all the cars on the road have the same base parts and look different, but they're still the same structure. So I don't know what you're looking for. All right, Starport services. Let's see. Commodities. Selling it. I mean, them semiconductors. 42 million. Yeah. Making half a mil. Making like a couple 100,000 on one-way trips when I can make 42 mil in one. Like, no, that's just not as good. That's not as good. Not as good. All right, so since we're talking about Elite not having enough, and cars do too, for your analogy, yeah, cars, trucks, they have the same base parts, but they look different. And that's fair because Elite has a bunch of different stuff as well. Like we don't see as much of some of the other options, but it is the future. And making entire space stations, if it works and it fits the amount of ships that exist in Elite, I'm not mad at it. Would it be nice to have more? Of course. But let's say I wanted to go around and like I'll go do something with like my on foot missions. First things first, we out here. They won't let me pull my weapons out because space station. Like, we're in a friendly place. We should not be able to just pull our weapons out just cause. It's like Star Citizen in that it is a space focused game that has multiplayer capability. That's about as much as I would connect between the two games. See, oh, that's cool. Even in here, it looks like they do a lot with plants. I don't think I've seen this many plants in a space station before. Not in this game. What up, fellas? How y'all doing? Why do I feel short compared to these dudes? I'm looking up at them. I don't like that. That's rude. Say when they say they stopped development for console but switched to PC, sadly my power supply went out, so I haven't played in years. That sucks. Hephaestus. Did you get a new power supply?
I'll be over here if you need any help.
Hi, Amy.
Wonderful. Let me help you find the ship of your dreams.
Bad. I'm interested in your
rush.
services. So I'm not really gonna buy a ship, but if I wanted to, the view that I have in the Type 9 is gonna be different than I would have if I were to hop into an Eagle or a hauler or an adder. Man, load the adder. There you go. Or Type 6. Get the PC on Monday just so I can play this game again. Hell yes, C. Brunt, welcome back. Or the Dolphin. See those Dolphin. So yeah, like there's a lot of options. Like the visuals from the cockpit change based on the cockpit of the ship you have. We actually have another ship. 20 minutes, my cutter is going to arrive at the other station. So we'll be able to swap the views and then show you what the cutter looks like on the inside. If we wanted to go and meet some unsavory people and do some unsavory stuff, we could come over here to the bar and do that. What up, my guy? I'm gonna make a trade, my boy. What you got?
The only thing you won't find is a discount.
Damn, why you gotta talk to me like that, bro? Like, what if I wanted a discount? What if the only thing I needed from you was a discount? I'm out, bro. I don't even want to talk to you anymore.
Believe me, I'm not gonna lose any sleep over asking you to do this.
Refining rare materials is a delicate, expensive business. You can't afford to lose too much of the raw resource without biting into the profit margin. It's one material in particular that we repeatedly had issues with. I recently learned that another crew solved the same problem, producing high yields consistently. I must know how they do it. My teams are skilled, so it has to be the refinement process itself. So how about you help me find out what it is? Grab a sample from their facility and bring it here. You'll earn a few credits for it. Show me the deets. So they want me to sneak into Gutierrez Prospecting Enterprise in the Uram system, extract the refinement process sample from a sample containment unit, and return to the mission provider. Covert mission, so I have to do this on the sneak. That's kind of cool. How much does it pay though? 242,000. Not during this community goal. I'm not about to get myself.
Huh? Well, no hard feelings.
I do like that it was like, all right, no worries, dog. No worries. No worries. Sweet game. How about EliteDangerous? Who knows? EV Nova. We are in EliteDangerous. What are you talking about? Ready to get a drink from the bar? I mean, he didn't even sell drinks. Y'all just in here to sleep though. I love how they just in there sleep. I do have a manlay. The manlay is dope. Has to fit the budget, plus the PC needs an all-around upgrade, more or less waiting till I can get a new PC. I'm sorry to hear it, fam. Is Escape Velocity a game? Well, it's been added since the start of Odyssey. I know they've added a bunch of ships. Let me board this. Let me board this thing. Let me board this thing. Let me board this thing. All right. So now we got 20-ish minutes. I'm not gonna do the the stuff we did last time because it took too long. We put it in my faves. It's in my faves. I need to delete so many of these semiconductors. Thank goodness for favorites. Mandalay or Corsair, what do you like more? It depends on what we're talking about, right? Because the things in Elite, or the thing in Elite is, and really Star Citizen as well, ships have a primary purpose. Now, the Mandalay and the Corsair are both like multi-purpose ships, but I feel like the Mandalay is better with jump range. So the jump range on the Mandalay for me just makes it more a ship that I'm likely to do far more exploring in the Mandalay than I would consider in the Corsair. And the Corsair's hard points lead me to weapons.
Ready for system jump now?
So, no. I'm fully expecting to do more combat with the Corsair. Now, I could kit either for either other option, but it just feels like what they're made for, even though they're both made for multi-purpose, I feel like I would literally do more fighting in the Corsair, more exploration in the Mandalay, although both are dope. You can walk around inside the ship now. Yes, that is a part of what Odyssey brought in, I think 2021 is when Odyssey dropped. Engage jump.
That is not an option.
Stupid manslaughter. This is also one of my favorite parts of immersion. Like if you look at the stick when you're doing stuff, it all like links. It's just fancy to me. Engage jump.
Jumping.
Jumping. Just lose it. Go crazy. Oh baby. 2, 1. Engage. Oh, escape velocity of the first person puzzler? Or is it... Yeah, the other one is not a space game.
Scanning for information.
What is the beeping about? Cut screen? What cut screen? We all know that the witch space is basically a loading screen. That's how games work. Still said they made console versions legacy only. That's fair. Engage jump.
Jumping.
So it's the same sun. I mean, we literally are going to systems that are in the specific scoopable range of KGB, FOAM. They all have different colors. If we wanted to go somewhere else for exploration, we could.
Jumping to next system.
And it would be different. So, what? You see it? No, it's a yellow sun. That's... We can look on the galaxy map and see which stars are not yellow. Watch. Wait for it. Wait for it. Once we land and get these goodies. Matter of fact, before we land, screw it. Since you're seemingly upset about this, galaxy map. Ooh. Are we going to the beach? Somewhere warm. Let's see. Please say yes. What if I didn't want to go somewhere warm, self? Mind your business. That looks like a different sun. Let's see. Let's go here. Let's see what happens. Should be only one jump. Engage jump.
Jumping to light speed.
We're not that hot anymore. You play Star Citizen? I do.
Leaving system. 2, 1,
Boop.
Hull integrity is within limits.
That's not the same sun.
Stand by, scanning now. Compiling data. Cartography update complete.
It's not the same sun. One jump away. Looks the same. It actually doesn't. So look at it right now. Look at it. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Look at it. It looks like a star. It looks like a sun. Matter of fact, galaxy map. The most stellar cartography. What joystick is this? This is the Thrustmaster Solar 2. Alright, let's get to the semiconductor system. Literally exactly the same. You know, I'm not even... You could say that. We'll find out in a second.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
Engage jump.
Engaging jump drive.
Charging.
Which has the better ships in your opinion? I mean, they're different games, so I don't really compare them and say this ship is better in this game because different ships have different goals. What I will say is I feel like Star Citizen's ships feel locked more into their role capacity, even though you can still upgrade them. It's just not as open in this. It's boring. I stopped playing for this. Then that's fine. It's not for you. That's absolutely fine.
Temperatures are at an acceptable level.
All right, so let's tilt it. Let's get right here and then do this. Just for ease of use, right? And then we tab out for a second. And then we do this. And then we go into the pictures and then we go into here. Did it save my screenshots? I literally pressed print screen. How dare you not save my screenshots? Do I have to go to the Elite folder for my screenshots now? How rude. But yeah, TLDR, the other one was brighter. If you don't like that, that's fine.
Fuel scooping.
This is it. See, have you looked into Odyssey at all?
Disengaged.
I'm sad that protostars didn't look how they actually do IRL though. I mean, that's fair. Plenty of reasons to be frustrated by system map. Opening map. I normally don't do too much of the responding to naysaying. I want more, then let me show you more. Because if you haven't gotten Odyssey, then you are missing out on a huge chunk of what the gameplay exists in this game. So let's land on the planet. I know that's been in since Horizons, but the key is you miss the importance of me standing around at the station. Interested in getting your opinion on those joysticks and upgrading from the T16000 duals. Oh, if you're going from the T16000s to these, it is a very noticeable upgrade. I have two T16000s down there. These have more buttons. They have, if you are into the level of like Warthog type stuff, I could literally take this grip off and replace it with a Warthog grip. So like this is a higher tier joystick overall. So you missed you had the 6. They're right there though. They're right there. Would you say making a colony is worth it? I mean, it all depends on how you want to play Elite. Like I have a star system. We may actually, once we get the cutter back, since it has a little bit larger jump range, we may actually slide into delivering my astronomical data and then coming back to get back into the CG because reasons. Appreciate the follow, James. How's your day been? I'm great, Heather. How about yourself? How are you? How's yours? All right, so I want to see where where the space station is. Let's just land. Working on the second colony. Dope. I feel like at this point, I don't feel like once you got one star system, I feel like I want to upgrade my first until I go into getting into a second. Like I still have a lot of work to upgrade my current colony. Need to rent a carrier so I can let you use mine. I appreciate the offer. It's just my purposeful reason for not having a carrier is waiting until I upgrade the colonized system enough to basically get income weekly to where I have the money needed for the fleet carrier
Vectors for descent.
out of the gate. It's like boom, here you go. Here's your $5 million a week, and until I get there, I'm good. How are you and how's your fam? We've been great, Grant. Hope the same for you and yours. Been a while. They add base building. They added entire star system colonization.
Intelligent thrusters engaged.
Funny. I appreciate the solarium, but nah. I don't even want to touch one until I'm ready for that. Yes.
That's affirmative.
Thank you.
You are most welcome.
Finally turned it back on after 2.5 years. Have to relearn so much now. Yes, it is definitely a game that requires relearning. Do 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 do. Do do do. Now I could have looked at this planet and saw if there was anything worth checking out here, but I just wanted to land. All right, once we land, it is time to swap, because we are currently in the midst of a Thrustmaster sponsored stream. We're going to swap to Alienware here shortly. Try escape velocity. I looked up escape velocity and I don't see anything except for like a space puzzler and like a side scroller. So what are you even talking about? Nike Buzz, what up? Appreciate the follow. There was no Super Cruise assist. That was neat, bro. The Super Cruise overdrive is stupid good. Stupid good. How dare you right now? I said stupid good, not any of that. Mind your business. Stop it. Okay, so let me find some suitable terrain. Oh, there we go. Now we can land. Well, Olivia, what up? All right, so now this doesn't work. Why are you making those childish sounds, please? What childish sounds? What are you talking about? It's cool. You can land on planets and disembark. It's more than that, though. Like, if there's an enemy out here, we literally could get into a mission of actually get into a first-person shooter battle. If you go into a system that has conflicts, you can choose a side in the space station. They take you into a shuttle down to a planet to where you, once you've chosen your side, you basically get to help the other side. If somebody's being attacked by pirates, you can go attack the pirates. It doesn't have to be what I'm doing. I'm purposefully only going in and finding, buying and selling low and high. Like that was a purposeful thing. This is meant to go and find biological life. So the potential exists on some of these planets where you can find life and you get paid really well for it, which allows you to buy other ships and do other stuff. So a lot of the stuff that you're talking about, like, oh, this is boring. It's like, I'm purposefully doing a thing that may seem boring, but I went from 600 million credits to 900 million credits, and I'm gaining like 40 milli per delivery. So I feel like for me, it is very valid and very useful. And no, I'm not open play. I never go into open play. Is this game fun solo? Do you need a group? I mostly play solo, so I don't think you need a group at all. You can have a group, and it's more fun if you got more people and you want to like socialize, but like you don't need it. Anti-fatigue glasses, yes. Haven't played EliteDangerous since I started Star Citizen. Now remember why. Have fun. I mean, that's on you. I feel like a lot of people are coming in and they're like, EliteDangerous or Star Citizen, pick one. I won't. I play both. Like, why do I have to pick one? When I want to come and chill and have a more chill and relaxed experience, I play Elite. Or if I'm in Star Citizen, I go do salvaging. So I don't know. I know a lot of people are big mad about it, but it's like, the goal is they both are great space games. I like great space games. So I'm not going to pick and choose between great space games when I know they're both great space games. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. The goal was for that to make sense. It's fun solo as long as you invest real cash at the beginning. In Elite? Nah, not really. Graphics on Star Citizen is outstanding. Yeah, I mean, great games are going to have greatness, right? Like that's a good thing. Boom. All right, so now we're starting this. Thank you very much to our time for Thrustmaster sponsoring our time in EliteDangerous. Now we're hopping over into Alienware sponsorship, where we're talking about some of the joys, some of the Alienware gear I use. I've been using this mouse ever so regularly. I know they have the Pro Line mouse. I have my Pro Line mouse over here, but between this mouse and this monitor, better. People who make DJ choose between Star Citizen and Elite must be the same people who yell at Reese's Cups or Oreo ice cream. I mean, both of them are delicious. Why would you need to choose? Star Citizen is an open beta. No, Star Citizen is alpha. If you're confused as to why I'm stressing the point of that term, Star Citizen is alpha because alpha games require, or beta technically means that all of the game mechanics are in and complete and only need light tweaking for them to function. So if you play a game that is in beta like a week or two before launch, that's a beta. Like Dune last week or like last month, Dune was a beta. Alpha, all of the mechanics are not in. For example, firefighting is coming to Star Citizen. They took it out, or they stopped work on it so that they could get Pyro out the door, so they could have Pyro released last December. But firefighting is coming to Star Citizen at some point soon. The engineering, the entire panels that don't work currently, engineering is coming to Star Citizen. So those are game mechanics. They're not in yet, so it doesn't really count as beta yet. Ready for the Panther Clipper? Guaranteed. People use terms all the time they don't know the meaning of. This is very true. Need that at TikTok on the command? I mean, I do. All right. Ethan with a follow, appreciate you. Thank you very much. There's a small possibility they can't fix everything because the game itself is beyond 2025. For what are you responding to there? Star Citizen still needs years. Star Citizen needs time. Yes, that's not a question. I feel like one of the biggest things that is going to change the way that Star Citizen operates shortly is Squadron 42 dropping. Currently, if you were unaware, the team at Cloud Imperium Games is making Star Citizen, the MMO that we've been playing and enjoying for years, is not done. If you notice, the last year, they've done more than they did in the previous years. It's almost like every year they do more than they do the previous year with gameplay. And part of that is because of the tools that they've been building in the background. Incoming message. Oh, sweet. My cutters arrived. So they've been building in the background. Like, for example, we're talking about we want to have new places in Star Citizen. We want to have new cities. New cities require new visuals because you want to make sure those cities match a theme. They require buildings because the buildings have to match the visuals. So you need to start that process. You need to have an artist concept up the work. Then you need to have a 3D artist build the work. And then maybe that same 3D artist is going to do the texturing for that work. And then someone has to bring the created 3D artwork into the game. They've built tools to procedurally generate buildings, which means they've had to design things to a certain exact specification that have a certain connection to other pieces of gear that they can procedurally connect together and make work with a tool. They've done that. So Star Citizen's growth is going to be exponential. It's like GTA will never be done. I mean, just like World of Warcraft. How many people are complaining that World of Warcraft is never done? How many people are complaining that GTA is never done? I don't think anybody's complaining because there's just more, and more continues. Appreciate the follow. If you're curious why I like to have a little calmer conversation about this, I've taught game design for like 4 years. I taught people how to make video games, so I understand a little bit about how the cake is made. That's part of the reason why I got excited about Star Citizen in the first place, is because they're doing things in a way that a lot of the gaming community does not. And to me, that is super important. The fact that they're making Star Citizen, which is the game that we like, for example, the procedural generation I just got done talking about. That's just for Star Citizen. They have an entire campaign game that releases next year. I'll play the trailer for it before we go back into Elite, because it's super interesting. All right, you've been talking. You said escape velocity. I looked on Steam for escape velocity, and then you said EV Nova. So let me look up EV Nova. Not there. EV Nova. Put it into Google. See, you said escape velocity and EV Nova right afterwards. It's not on Steam. Who cares? I really don't, actually. You're talking about that old of a game? Interesting. It's very interesting. It does not seem like a game that I would just like not play. It seems like a game I would try out. Check out The Alters. Oh no, The Alters is happening. Is it out? I didn't think it was out yet. I played that beta ages ago, and I've been excited for launch. Yeah, June 13th is when that one launches. I will be playing The Alters. These games are the reference. Okay, so what are you referencing in reference with EV Nova? Because it looks like it does have a pretty solid, from what I'm seeing, it does seem like it has a pretty solid usage of like, looks like Newtonian physics. Pirate Fork, what up? All right, so let's see. Let me finish this real quick. Nope. Oh. All right, cool. Would you be down for a screenshot in PG? What? Off Duty Nation, what up? Let's see. These games are the reference. Escape velocity. Boarding disabled ships were captured. Demanding tribute to, I'm guessing, pirates. It's a Mac game. It went to Windows. Iron Bear with a follow. Appreciate your private group. What do you mean a screenshot? So what is worth getting into right now? Elite or Star Citizen? Personally, I feel like both. I don't think there's anything that in Star Citizen that is going to, unless an org takes over a whole planet, I don't foresee that being a thing that happens. But in case you were unaware, Star Citizen's reference is Wing Commander. I feel like Freelancer as well, which is why there's a ship called the Freelancer. So, like, if you've played Wing Commander, since you're referencing escape velocity, you probably have seen Wing Commander before, I'm sure. You've probably seen the original Elite from, like, the old school, like, what? I can't remember the computer names, but the really old computers in, like, the 80s. Star Citizen's not bad, but prepare for all kinds of bugs and failure. I mean, it's alpha. That's part of the process. They have an entire issue council. Like, if you have bugs, put them here. If you can confirm the bugs, confirm that. The more people that confirm the bugs, the higher up that goes in the dev process. Like, that's, they don't hide that it's a bug thing. Also, is this war mine, Debs? I'm not sure off the top of the head. I need to figure out Dune and Switch 2 on the same day. I'm just not going to get a Switch 2. Personally. Let's see what we got. Let me double check it. Let me double check it. Let me double check it. Check it. Check it. Make that works. Make sure it works. It does. Boom.
Tweets out. Tweets out. Tweets out.
The tweet is out. Finally. Finally, the tweet is out. I already mentioned it 10 times before. Cost win perhaps might be interesting. Depends on how much you boarded and captured something better. I mean, capturing ships is coming to Star Citizen. So that's not a surprise. I literally have a Legionnaire, which is the ship that they're going to be using to board other ships in Star Citizen once it launches. So, like, you got options. You got options. All right. Mains pawn. What are words? What are words? Oh, I think I did that to try to make a thing function, and that never functioned. So, body dead. Party turd. Dolly dolly oh. Dolly dolly oh. Doo doo doo. Alright. Let's see. What am I looking for? Now that we've landed, we've shown off that you can get out of the ship and shoot. Now we go back to the space station that we were going to go to and then continue the CG because I still am trying to get paid. Yeah. Let's see. I want the Switch 2, but until I just can't afford the Switch 2 yet. Castlecraft is semi-interesting choice. Interesting. I feel like we still have a bunch of campaign games that we need to finish before I do too much buying of new games. Like, Dune doesn't count, because literally we got our houses themed after, like, one of the houses is House of Arrakis. So, like, we're going to be in Dune. We're going to be in Dune. That's not a choice. But I've been playing a lot of Coral Island off stream and having a great time with that one, actually. Although I did lose a month of in-game time because I had to reset my ROG LIX, and that basically set me up for some fail. And I hadn't closed the game before it started to break, so, like, that sucked. Engage cruise. Engage Super Cruise. Oh man.
Engaging cruise.
They're gonna make me tilt up. I don't know why. My brain was thinking about actually jumping. Because you can jump to another system at that angle, but you need to escape. You still need to go straight up. Elite takes you back. It does. Sleazy, what up? Castle crash with the King's main man. You must protect him and rebuild his castle and town while defending him from evil forces. That's interesting. Man, Super Cruise Overdrive is my favorite thing, man. Absolutely dope. We got Space Boy and Caleb with the follows. Appreciate you. Come on. We can go faster than this. Come on, hurry up. Finish your cooldown cycle.
Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits.
There we go. And now we're going at a speed enough where I don't mind getting out. Because I feel like if I don't turn it off, I'm going to end up going too fast. 4.2 all waves and go so fast, it's crazy. Yeah, it must be stable enough to where they're confident of giving more people access, which you can never be mad at that. I really need to see in the patch notes what the big fuss is about that they're working on 4.2 And also, can we give them props for not trying to release 4.2 while Invictus was happening? That is not a thing that I would be surprised to have heard years back. I love that they've kind of, after the prep for the Lunar New Year, after the first static server meshing situation, they were just like, you know, we're just not gonna do free flies while things are broken. So they waited till they had a stable build and then pushed it. I'm a fan of that. Thank you, dev team, for doing it the right way. The right way. This is the way. All right, so once we land, I realized that I forgot to click a button for a thing. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Disengage cruise.
Drive deactivated.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Recon Delta, Echo, this is Starcon. We require authorization for access to the docking bay. Access granted. Head directly to docking bay 32.
Did I turn it on? I thought I did. Let me scroll and see. Sweet, it's on. Dope, dope, dope. Aniplex. Used to love this game. They did the console players dirty, so I refuse to touch it again. If you understood why they just dropped console, you might not be as mad at them. Like, they dropped console during COVID. Yes.
Lowering gear.
They dropped console during COVID when they had to let go of a bunch of people that could not maintain 2 separate code bases for the game. Because, think of it this way. With Elite working on console, they had to work it for PC, which, if you are a developer, you understand that the Steam version of a game, if you're updating, for example, or your PC version, you can just send updates out when you feel like they're ready. You just update it whenever you're done, because like, all right, cool, we're good, let's roll. On console, they have to spend 10 grand per update to have Microsoft and Sony verify that the game patch doesn't break anything or let people load side load anything, or like load games that they shouldn't be able to load on the console. For 2-week community goals, that means they have to put out 2 major updates per month, which means every update for a community goal would cost them 20 grand. In addition to being something that they have to code for a different code base than the base game. They pretty much took our money and ran, but they didn't, Kevin, because let's say you decide to switch to Elite on PC. If you're still playing Elite and you're still gaining money in Elite, you can transfer that to PC right now. Like, let's spell console. Also, it still works. Elite still functions. Complete this process to make a copy of your console commander playable on PC. So, because they were in a bad state and couldn't afford to give the console version of the game the love that it deserved, while after dropping Odyssey, which did not run smoothly on PCs, let alone could not run on what I imagine their largest user base was on Xbox One and PS4. Odyssey now could not run on those consoles. So they had to do a lot more work to even try. But like, this is which data from my console profile will be copied. So here's the full FAQ. So if you're curious about what you would get if you brought your game to PC, let's see what the details. What does it share? You know, transfer my assets or commander. There it is. Already PC account. I got new ones. Commander wealth and in-game extra transfer questions. Nope. I think once that's done, it's done. All right. I feel like we've looked in this
Not an
before, but I
option.
want to make sure that I find it. I don't even know what you think I'm saying, lady. What do you think I'm saying? What elements of my console profile will be copied to PC? Commander name, if it's not already used on PC. Ships, all modules, hollow meat, weapons, SRVs, and I don't even know what SLF is, including the Cobra Mark 4 if owned. Credits, all modules in your storage, including all engineered, community gold, and power play modules. Core progression, including inventory, superpower and engineer, reputation, navy ranks, permits, the codex with all discoveries and information gathered, engineering process and progress and materials, tech broker progress, in-game customizations such as paint jobs, bobbleheads, ship kits, and other items, purchasable with ARCs. Any applied library customizations will remain applied, so your PC commander and their ships will appear exactly as they were on console before the copy. So if you still want to do this, you can. Like, I was literally just on the page. This is the page. This is the Frontier store. This is the official page to do it. You can go do this right now with your Xbox or PlayStation stuff. So if you want to have your exact profile, you may need to change your name on PC if somebody already has that name on PC, but if not, do this. And then bring all your stuff to the PC. So it's not a took your money and ran situation. They still have all of your data. And they want you to keep all of your data so you don't have to start over. Unless you're on console was the game, KR, those NPCs sometimes cheat. I mean, luckily, if we all remember the rules, do not fly when you cannot rebuy. So if we look down here, you see my rebuy is 5.7276 milli. I'm not going anywhere in the ship that I can't have the handle the rebuy for. So yeah, Kevin, I understand the frustration. If you have a PC, port your game to PC and continue playing Elite. Seems good to me. Also, if you're watching the anime or the anime Hunter x Hunter, there's now a demo of a Street Fighter style game version of the game. I know somebody who's gonna love that. That's dope. That's absolutely dope. Starport services. Oh wait, we were gonna switch to the cutter. That's an L. What are you talking about, Frank? Do 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 do. Yeah, use it.
Yeah.
As a long-time player, you were rocking this as the setup. Sorry, hit send early. Okay, I was like, what did I do to catch a L? Like, appreciate it. This UI is so different from the when I last played. What's different about it? Susie, what you got? All right, so we got the nav. I'm gonna go get the. I need to bookmark the community goal location so that I can go back and forth. Do I play online or solo? I never play online because gankers are everywhere. So yeah, you were talking about the cockpit was mentioned earlier. This is a wholly, completely different cockpit now. And then we have 2 other seats for other players on that side, none on that side. So we get, if we wanted to group up with people, we could have a bunch of people in here. Play solo too because gankers are just like trading. I mean, I don't necessarily play in like offline, but it's more that I like to hang out in my private group or Mobius because Mobius allows people to exist. You can find tons of actual players, especially near community goal locations in Mobius. But the key with Mobius is it's a PvE group. It's like, don't shoot other players. If you shoot another player, you can get kicked from the group. And I'm a firm believer in like, let me chill. Let me relax. I don't want to have to go in here and live a sweaty life trying to handle somebody else because they out here being silly. Like, I don't want to have to like be ready to melt something in a ship that is meant for trading every time I go somewhere. I don't need to have to bring a bunch of people with me so that I can exist in a way that allows me to do what I want. Like, that's too much. That frustrates me. That whole concept is kind of infuriating to me. So like, nah, it's when I say it's frustrating, it's absolutely frustrating. You need to enjoy Elite Dangerous to get a joystick controller. I mean, you don't necessarily need a controller to enjoy Elite. I just prefer playing with flight sticks because immersion. Anytime I play a game that is flight, I typically want to do that. But also, Elite has so many commands that I don't know if I could even play this game without voice attack. So for me, it's between Elite and Star Citizen. I could do without using a flight stick in Star Citizen just because ease of use is there, but like there's so much more in Elite that I just never bothered. I hate PvP because you can use a controller. A regular Xbox controller will work for you in Elite. Easy. No questions. Which one did I say? There it is. 736 cargo. Bro, I thought I was doing it with 720. Now, we do need to be careful about cracking ourselves against stuff. So I get the feeling my rebuy is going to be way higher now. Instead of 5 milli, 5.2 mil, we're looking at 19.6. Golly, it's 4 times as much. Online play definitely hurts the exploration aspect, so many of the experienced players like ganking. It is true. You ever tried? No, I have not. Basic HOTA setup. I'm currently using the Thrustmaster Solar 2s, which is a dual stick setup. All right, so let's see if we can survive a trip in the cutter with like 16 more cargo space for ease of use. All right, so first things first, let's go over here and down. We select this. We open it up because I don't think we ever add that one, the other one of the favorites. So let's add the bookmarks, add the faves, CG _ CG semiconductors. Okay. All right, cool. CG semiconductors came, so I know what I need to select. So now we don't even have to come in here anymore. We just go over to this, select this. Man, I thought it was gonna save it with the underscore, put it at the top. Also, it's in my favorites. How dare? Oh, there it is. I'm about to be big man. I was like, how dare you, bro? You have one job. Pirates will be after you. Get your weapon ready. I mean, in open, guaranteed. Fuka, Ryan. Fuca. Nasty. Online play definitely hurts the exploration aspect. So many of the experience with gang, which remain perfection in elite. We just hit elite in trade yesterday, so that is mostly what I end up doing. And I think we're gonna go on exploration trips here soonish, just because I do like the idea of exploring. And I'm 2 ranks away from elite, I think. There's Ranger, and then there's 1 more above Ranger before elite. So that's gonna be nice. All right, we already got 3 jumps. Dope. Launch it. Playing elite without buttons is a straight nightmare. Fair, but like you can play elite with a controller, with an Xbox or PlayStation controller. So like, I get confused when people are like, "Oh, you can't do it." It's like, but you can though. You really can though. Like, do whatever you want. Like, I just don't like to play elite without a flight stick. But you can. Do I play Star Citizen? I do. I feel like somebody asked me earlier, why don't you play Star Citizen? It's like, we do. We literally played right before Invictus started. No. Bro, we lost 6% of our hull already, bro. Like, this is not going to end well. I'm surprised how well they did on gamepad. It's impressive. I've never played with it. I've played on Xbox and PlayStation, but like, for me, it's... when I started playing Elite, it was so ingrained in me that I needed a flight stick to play a flight game that I just never played Elite without a flight stick. I literally didn't play Elite until I got a T-Flight Otis X. Engage jump.
Charging frame shift drive.
Lucius Khan in VXL DXD with the follows. Appreciate you. Thank you much. Thank you much. Because I know the flight sticks, like the flight stick setups, PvPers like the controller. I mean, realistically, I like flight sticks for the immersion. If I wanted speed, I would probably try to get used to the controller. First person actually playing the game and not flying around doing nothing. I love how I hear the alternatives of that, because earlier we were sitting and somebody was like, man, every time I come in here, you sitting in the station. You're not playing at all. And it's just like, that is the exact opposite of what I heard like an hour ago. Envy, who has the setup with a joystick for flying, it is absolutely the best, in my opinion. Can play Star Citizen on a flight stick, but I cannot with Elite. Big same. I feel like on Star Citizen you spend more time on foot. Engage jump.
Jumping.
Frame shift drive charging.
Star Citizen look good? It does. This is Elite though. External camera.
Confirmed.
Look at this ship. Look at the ship. Look at the. Ooh, there is 4 seats in this.
4, 3.
Damn. Good amount of Elite Dangerous to sit in the station looking at menus. This is true. This is true. Seen a couple streams where the person is just flying around doing tricks, like go do something. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. That's very fair. see. We got the heart meat. Appreciate your T Stellar. Thanks. Compiling for cartography. Cartography. Compiling for cartography. Mygraphy. All I ask for Elite is to be as immersive as a Star Citizen, and all I ask of Star Citizen is to be as stable as Elite. I mean, that's a big ass. You played Everspace 2? Love Everspace 2. Engage jump.
Frame shift.
Apparently, they just came out with new DLC recently, and I have it already because I backed that one in Kickstarter. Ah, here it comes. I want a boost right now because I know boosts are delightful, but I feel like they're not going to be able to interdict me before we get out of here. Also, it's very interesting that we never got that alert in the Type 9 hauling the same gear. The same gear. It's based off No Man's Sky? Not at all. No Man's Sky is a completely different experience. The thing is, there's a term called like simultaneous creation. That may not be the exact term, but it's the goal, right? Like two people may be in two different places in completely different parts of the world who are deciding to make something very similar. Now the kicker here is that EliteDangerous is aimed for realism, whereas No Man's Sky is aimed for arcadey but quick to pick up and play. That's the biggest difference between these two. EliteDangerous is definitely a sim. It's a sim. No Man's Sky is an arcadey survival game. It's a space-centric survival game, which is absolutely amazing. Do I play No Man's Sky? Love No Man's Sky. I think the latest update is one of the only updates that I haven't immediately jumped into, because I've been playing No Man's Sky since literally the day it released. We got to the point where I thought I had it on Xbox, and the only reason I had it on Xbox is because of Game Pass. So I was just like, you know what? Let me give Hello Games some money. So I actually went and bought it on Xbox as well. I own No Man's Sky on every platform that they let me buy No Man's Sky on. Switch, Xbox, PlayStation, Steam, GOG. Like, if they have it, I'm trying to let them. If they want to let me pay for it, I can't wait. And I'm super excited for Light No Fire. Have a great one, Cypher. Thanks for coming to hang out with us. Appreciate you. Do I play Star Citizen? Yes, I do. The only reason I have not been hopping a lot into Star Citizen lately is because I got these flight sticks and have not done any of the buttons. I've not done any of the binds. It's gonna be a day of like getting the bind set up. Appreciate the follow, Keenan. Do you know how long it's gonna take to get binds situated for all the stuff you can do in Star Citizen? I'm not ready for it. I'm not ready for it because I got to start from scratch and then like redo a lot of the stuff that I've already done in this. Like it's too much. It's too much. And I know I can play with keyboard and mouse, but like, you know how weird it feels to be flying a ship with keyboard and mouse when you have a flight stick right there? It's rude. EliteDangerous, it's a great time to come back, lay shots. Binding and fixing the binds and fixing the binds and fixing the binds again. So you know exactly what I'm talking about, Laszlo. I'm gonna do it soon, but still. No, they're finally adding the new ships and better content. Oh, they've been adding new ships since at least last year. Like Python, Disengage Cruise.
Disengaging Super
Python Mark II, new Vipers, the Mandalay, the Corsair. You know how long I've been waiting for another Gudamaya ship? Listen to this boost. Some of the absolute best boosting in this whole ass game, boy. It sounds so good. Every time I hear it, I'm like, yes, thank you. Yes, please, thank you. Appreciate it. Still find it funny you have to keep repeating that you do play Star Citizen. People keep asking, like on Twitch, the rule has always been every 30 seconds, there's a new person seeing your stream. So consider that like every 30 seconds, you might have to answer that question. In TikTok, it is literally sometimes every 10 seconds. So I'll finish answering something and then somebody will swipe in and be like, yeah, but like, have you ever heard of this? And it's just like, bro, I literally just gave the explanation of that, an in-depth explanation at that. So what I need to do is start like recording my responses for these kind of questions so that I can immediately upload those joints as TikToks Do you play this? Go look at my profile. Wish they added something that feels like the Crate Mark II, but better. How so? Like, what is the thing you need to feel better about the Crate Mark II? Because the Crate Mark II is dope in and of itself. But what is the thing you're specifically looking for in regards to a feeling of the Crate Mark II? Like, there's a thing that you are thinking of when you think about the Crate Mark II that you want them to make another ship like.
Touchdown. Clear to offload. Welcome, Commander.
Okay, we only lost 15% of the hull. That's not too bad. Did that on purpose? Oh, I knew notification.
Oh, I knew.
Game has some of the best sounds in gaming. Go deep core mining. Oh no, deep core mining. I regularly tell people if you've never deep core mined, do it. What game is this? Elite Dangerous. Game, Elite Dangerous. Right there. What does the outside of the ship look like? External camera.
Acknowledged.
Like this. That's the landing gear. We got me in the cockpit. We got the 3 other seats. That's the back of the cockpit. Look at that, my seat. Yeah, that's your boy. That's your boy. I could have gone the other way, and then there it is. That's the front of it. That's the back again. I'm alive. External
Negative,
camera.
Commander. Executing
It's hard to
now.
explain. I mean, the sense of design, I want the same, but bigger. I shouldn't have said better. Oh, that's fair. But see, that's the key, though, right? T-Stellar with the GGs as well. Sorry for missing that. Dare you to walk around your ship? You can't. You know this about Elite. Otherwise, you wouldn't have dared me to do it. Same thing to you, Steve. You know how this works. But if I want to walk around the space station, I'll do that. Use the Crate Mark II for deep core, nice and maneuverable. It is absolutely dope. We joke because we love. Yeah, I had that feeling. Here's the name of the top Federation ship, the big one. You're talking about the Corvette? I do not have it. This is the biggest Imperial ship, though. You can walk around the space stations now. Yes, they tag. That is what Odyssey dropped. Like, Odyssey allows you to walk around. That is the view of the cutter from outside of it. Get that print screen real quick, because reasons. Is this game PvP or PvE? Yes, it's both. Is this No Man's Sky? It is not. Game, Elite Dangerous. All my life, I grinded for both. Full day ordeal being a postman. I'm sure. Is it pay to play? I mean, you have to buy the game to play it. Yes. I think you can get the whole game with the DLC of Odyssey for $10 right now on Steam. Thoughts on the Panther Clipper? I can't wait. If you haven't noticed, like, if those of you who've been here for a while, most of my streams lately have been hauling streams because we started the star system. We claimed the star system as mine, so like that took a long time. Then we got, after we claimed that star system, we needed to fill, like, bro, we made a Coriolis starport, the big D20 joint. Like, you know how many resources that requires over the other starports? A lot. So, whew, that took 3 weeks of just like hauling. I mean, like, can you buy the bigger ships? I mean, you can, but you don't have to. Like, just like Star Citizen, a lot of people are like,
You scam citizen.
the only thing you ever need to buy in Star Citizen is a base package of the game. You can rent other ships in game without having to spend the whole money to buy them. And if you want to feel what they feel like before you ever decide to spend your in-game money to pick them up, rent them. You can rent them for like 2 days at a stretch. Or in Elite, you can literally just use your in-game credits to come over here to Enter Astra and then like talk to the lady.
I'll be over here if you need any help.
Thank you.
What are you in the market for?
I'm interested in your
No rush.
services. So we can just go buy a ship. And if I wanted to do something a little bit more specific of like actually giving them funds, you can buy them with in-game, with like money. But just like in that other game we were talking about, you don't have to. Like, if you want to, you can, but like you don't need to. So let's say we wanted to go look at pre-built ships. We could look at and buy pre-built ships with ARCs. ARCs are the currency that you give Frontier. What the fuck did they do to this Crate Mark II, bro? What is this, bro? What did they do to my boy? What on earth is this? That is a hellified ship kit. That looks like they tried to make a crate into like a 4x4. Like this looks like a Jeep. You want to ride in my Jeep, 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 Jeep. There's a whole like Star Citizen. Might as well just play the real thing. Never understood supporting copycats. Noob Slayer. Both games went into Kickstarter in 2012. And before you go into other streams just angrily shouting from the rooftops like you should be playing that other game, I play both. So what are you talking about? I'll wait. Between both games, what is your preference? I don't have a preference, Chris, because they do things very differently. Are they still updating Elite? Yes, they are. Got to follow just for that response. Appreciate you. Literally looks like Star Citizen. This looks like no ship in Star Citizen at all. Also, I could show you something in this game that Star Citizen wishes it had. Matter of fact, that is going to be what I do right now. Realistically, Star Citizen is meant to be a smaller experience. This is part of the most recent update to EliteDangerous because people had been for years asking,
Frontier, where are my space legs?
You can fly around in a ton of space in Elite, but you really couldn't do much actually on foot. Odyssey added this in 2021. So if you're in here angry about Star Citizen, have you tried, did you know about Star Citizen in 2021? First questions. If you didn't, this has had on-foot gameplay for the same amount of time. Looks very original. Both of these games are very original. What are you talking about? What are you mad about? I always want to play, but I don't know if my computer can hack it currently. If you're talking about Star Citizen, they do regular free flies. They just did one that ended last week where you can actually download the game and play it without having to buy anything. You just make an account, play it. This on-foot gameplay is recent. Didn't know this. 2021 is when it dropped. It's in the Odyssey update, and the Odyssey update requires, if you don't have Odyssey is $8.99 by itself. But here's the funny part is if you bought it on Steam and you bought EliteDangerous right now is $20. The deluxe edition, which includes Odyssey, is $25. You could literally spend $10 to buy the update that is cheaper than there's like $1 cheaper. $1 more to get the whole EliteDangerous Deluxe Edition than it is to just get the update. But all of it's on sale anyway, so you could still spend less than $10 and have Odyssey. Odyssey adds in a bunch of stuff into Elite that didn't exist before. Came out maybe 2 years ago now. I feel like it was 2021. Let me make sure that I'm not incorrect. Dangerous Odyssey. Yep, May 19th, 2021. This is the joy of it, right? Like I've been playing the game since 2015. I would hope that I remember the years of the major stuff. Thought Odyssey was like walking on planets, moons, but not necessarily this part of spaceports and stuff. Didn't know looks cool. It is all of those things as well. Appreciate the heart, me, Christopher. Don't think I bought Odyssey. Yeah. The Odyssey is like $10, fam. Do it. One thing I hate about Elite is you can't walk in your ship. No, I'm with that. I also am frustrated because if you look behind me, there's a bunch of stuff in the ship. And apparently they've made it. It's just that they haven't given us what we need to do it. But also, we're talking about, somebody was saying like this looks like a copy paste of Star Citizen. And Star Citizen has 2 star systems. This is one of my favorite parts of talking about Elite. Star Citizen has 2 star systems. Now, mind you, they have more stuff to do in the star system, but this is just one small portion of the galaxy. And Elite, every star you see on the screen right now is a star system. Is a star system. Much like the one we're in right now. We are in one right now. Like, do we know how many planets are in each one of these? No. But this is a star system. This is a different star system. This is a different star system. This is a wholly different star system. And if we zoom in, This is a whole different grouping of star systems. Look at how many there are on the screen. So, no. I think one dude went around the whole outside and took him in like 3 in-game months. That sounds about right. Sounds about right. One thing to note regarding Odyssey, you have to have it to have the new chips. This is true. Looking at it on Steam, it's crazy that I could get the deluxe upgrade for $1 more than just the expansion. Yeah. But like, if you already have Elite, I feel like the deluxe version of Elite, it literally is the expansion. Like, let me see if I can find it in here. If the deluxe edition. Actually, let me go look at the Frontier store because I feel like it's not going to show me in here unless. What does the deluxe do? Does it show deluxe anywhere else? There it is. Deluxe edition. It includes the base game and Odyssey. That's it. The deluxe is literally just adding Odyssey to the base game. So if you don't have Elite yet, you can spend $1 more than you would spend for the upgrade to get the whole game with all of the updates. Need more stuff to play. Give me your best 3 reasons I should get this. I don't really know what you like to play, El Santos, so I don't want to send you off. Shooting the farthest place in the galaxy took me several months. We got a lot of good views, I'm sure. I'm sure. So like, this stage in EliteDangerous life cycle, you should have Odyssey if you're playing the game. Literally that. And it's only $10 right now. Just do it. But let's say you want to go exploring, right? The idea of going to new places that no one's ever been. If you like that thought process, right? Like you like the idea of going to a place that literally is, in a way, yours. This game has that. So for example, I can load up this. And because of the way that the background sim works in EliteDangerous, that was first discovered by me. This whole star system was first discovered by me. My name is now forever embedded into the game. So that's just the exploration part of things. And this is some thousands of light years away from the base area of the bubble where all the good stuff's happening. So exploration is also a crucial part of the game. If you like combat, combat is a pretty hectic thing in EliteDangerous as well because it's everywhere. I think we're already in Fukudak, so we need to go to Gaspar de Lemos. It's becoming more important than you buy Odyssey easily. It's only $10, man. So my only issue is I made about 5 billion during the LTD and got everything I wanted. Now what? Do you have a fleet carrier? Do you want a fleet carrier? I feel like the fleet carriers make 500 light year jumps. They cost about 5 billion. So you travel from one sector to another like EVE Online, you could. You plan on colonizing out that way? I actually have a colony. Actually, before we go to this next system, I did say I was going to go to our colony because it's the Night Core colony, right? Like the whole community helped us to get it done. So I think it's probably most crucial that we actually go to the place that we spent a lot of time building up and creating. So like, let's go ahead and sell all this. Make us a little bit more money. I like another 40 milli, and we're at 985. One more trip and we'll be over 1 billion credits, which I'm excited about. 5 build to buy another 5 build to comfortably maintain. Yeah, but that's there. Named it Feet and then sold it because it didn't use that much. Interesting. It's like a monthly subscription like Eve. No, not at all. Once you buy Elite, you have it. Once you buy Star Citizen, you have it. You don't need to pay anything else. I know a lot of people get into Star Citizen and they're like,
you gotta pay more money.
Well, they get into Elite and they're like,
oh, I don't want to pay more money.
You don't have to. Play the game. Earn in-game money. Get it. It's not necessarily that it's free, Putgroth. It's just that you don't have to continue to pay. Is there combat in this or is it strictly adventure? Oh, there's plenty of combat. I just am purposefully avoiding combat right now. There's aliens that you can fight. There's entire alien weapon sets that you can focus on getting. Actually, you know what I haven't done? I haven't gone to Shinrarta Desra. I feel like since we made Elite yesterday, Founders World Permit, dope. Hold on. We may need to get out the Mandalay. We may need to break out the Mandalay because I've never been to the Founders World. Shinrarta Desra. How far is it from me? 47 light years, bro. It's right there. Yeah, we're gonna go. I'm gonna do one more trip of this, and then we're gonna go to the Mandalay. Or we could. I wonder if we could just bring the Mandalay here. We could. That actually is not a bad idea. Hit the outfitting real quick. Like, since we're downstairs, it already will be easy. We go back into optional internal. We take out the one of these size 6s. Replace the module with no. Because I'm not going into other places without returning the module. There it is. Browser available and stored. Where's my stored? Oh wait, the stored is already here. So we need to go to the shields. And then to the buy weave. Let's pop this buy weave in. Buy and equip. You better show me the buy weave that we have here. Or is it at the other station? That's at Nick's. Oh, we were over there. It's at the other station. I mean, we could just go there. No, because then we're going to have a shorter jump range. Rude. All right, so we go over there. We put the new shield cell in. Oh, actually, no. Screw all that. This is, you're watching me go through my internal monologue of doing things how I regularly do. Minerva is not too far off. We could just go to Minerva and get the Mandalay. Let me see what my jump range is on the Mandalay. 53 light years. We could do better than that, but I do still need to finish engineering it. Do I have a better jump range than something else is the question. The sneaky snack. 24 yet, no. Let's see. We got the Corsair. See, the Corsair, we can go somewhere and defend ourselves. Yeah, the Corsair is the lowest. So yeah, we're gonna bringing the Mandalay here would take a half an hour. So we're not gonna do that. We're gonna go to the Minerva, pick it up, and then we're gonna go to Shinrarta Desert because reasons. There's basically everything you've got in the game. So there's one station. Exactly. I'm cool with not having the engineers. Props in your defense of Elite Dangerous over Star Citizen. Not even close. It's not even that I'm defending Elite. It truly isn't. It's just they are doing different things. So expecting them to do the exact same thing is unfair. That's like putting up Street Fighter against Tekken. They're both fighting games. They're both fighting games in their own genres. Like, why would you pick one over the other? They're both great. They both have a ton of characters. You're not going to be at a lack of characters. And when one gets better, the other adds more stuff to make sure that it's better. And that's the same concept with Elite Dangerous. Elite Dangerous and Star Citizen are both two sides of the same coin. And really, the reason that I point out when it comes to the star systems is that with Elite Dangerous, they started at a galactic level and then developed downward. Because if you look at the way that it worked, you had an entire Milky Way galaxy in Elite Dangerous initially. And what was the first thing they added is in a DLC? Horizons, which allowed you to land on planets instead of just hovering around them. What was the next thing that they added major? Odyssey, which lets you walk on those planets. You could land on the planets and get out and drive around in your SRV, but they needed more time to put in the settlements, the missions, a lot of the other stuff that you need to be able to do if you're going to have on-foot gameplay. They did that. They put in the time, they put in the work, and then they made it to where that exists now. Star Citizen started at the personal level. Star Citizen started at, let me hold this cup. They're using what used to be the CryEngine, made for like 12 kilometers square games max. There are craters in Star Citizen longer than 12 kilometers. So like, they're doing something different and bringing more to the gaming community that no one else has. Star Citizen is a cash grab. What's the thing? You know, I'm not even gonna engage that because we've had this conversation like 6 times today. Remember how they introduced Argos without warning players, which is how it's supposed to be. Tried both and you're right, I just don't have the patience. I mean, they're both games that require a lot of patience. Elite Dangerous is better than Star Citizen. It's a grind, yes, but it's not a hard one. They're both grinds. And that's the joy of it, right? You don't have to say one is better than the other. Because they both do well. El Santo with the follow, appreciate you. Elite is slept on all day, love Elite, big same. I'll put it this way before I go do what I'm doing. David Braben, the creator of Elite Dangerous, backed Star Citizen when it was in Kickstarter. Chris Roberts, the creator of Star Citizen, backed Elite Dangerous when it was in Kickstarter. Why? Because a rising tide raises all ships. When one space game does well, all space games do well because people want to look for more of the same stuff that's there. It's like, oh, this is dope. I want to find something similar to this or different from this, but gives me the same vibes. We all win when that happens. When Star Citizen does something that makes more people look at Star Citizen and space games in general, and they find Elite Dangerous and they're like, oh, this is dope. This is like something I might have wanted in that thing. Cool, let me get both of them, and then you enjoy both. You enjoy both. There is nothing wrong with enjoying both things. It's not like if you're on Xbox and somebody's saying like, man, you should play Last of Us, you got to get a PlayStation, though, and they can't afford a PlayStation, so they're like, oh, screw PlayStation. They're both on PC. You can install them both, play them both. Why be combative about it? Really? Elite has VR, by the way, and one of the best? Absolutely. If you have voice attack and a flight stick, you will never find a more immersive experience in VR than Elite Dangerous. Finn with the follow, appreciate you. Play Star Citizen. I'm not playing it today, but like, do I still have the launcher open? Like, you're like, it's like asking me to play a game that's in my Steam library. Like, I already have it. Like, I have it. It's not a bad thing. GT Matt, good to see you. It's been a minute. Props on your Elite. Appreciate you, Horace. Love you, sir. Repping both still and great points. I completely agree with your POV. I love both too. I enjoy both for very different reasons. And there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like a lot of people get caught up in the us versus them, right? Because that's what had, like, I never understood like the console wars, because I was lucky enough to have most of the consoles. So like, somebody was like, oh, I hate PlayStation, give me an Xbox, or I hate Xbox, give me PlayStation. It's like, well, if you want to play both, I got you. Like, we could do that. And they're like, oh, where? And then they find out that they like PlayStation. But like, there's nothing wrong with liking both. And again, if we're talking about liking both, this is not a house where we choose. We don't choose either or. We live a very, if you've ever taken an improv class, one of the keys about improv is yes and. Do you play Elite Dangerous? Yes and. Do you play Star Citizen? Yes and. What else? How much do you have as far as consoles? I've got a PS5. Luckily, Sony sent me the PS5. I got a PSVR 2. We have an Index. We have an Xbox Series X. We got a Switch that's somewhere over here. I have a ROG Ally X somewhere out in the living room. Like, we got the PlayStation Classic right here with the little mini PlayStation with the controllers. We don't choose. We just play whatever. I don't understand cutting off half or more of your market to play enjoy games. Just have fun. Literally that. Shendez is a trip. I mean, we're only 47 light years, so I'm not too mad about it. Ever mess with X4? This is why I love having these conversations. I've only played it for like 3 hours, but it is in my Steam library. It is literally installed right now. If you want to see just some of the games that I have in my library that are installed, ready to play on Steam right now, Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2, Path of Exile 2, The Kingdom Come Deliverance. We haven't started it yet, but we need to finish South of Midnight and Clear Obscure Expedition 33 before we hop into Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Marvel Rivals, Death Stranding, Director's Cut, Elden Ring. I still need to get the Elden Ring DLC. Quiet Place: The Road Ahead, which I'm very excited to play. 6 Days in Fallujah, Everspace 2, X4 Foundations, Power World, No Man's Sky. The demos for the altars. I've had this installed for like 6 months. Trip meaning bring guns. Are they fighting in Shinra Desert? Starting to think DJ likes gaming. I mean, a little bit. This is just the stuff I have installed. If I were to go to my whole Steam library, is there just like a full collection? There it is. This is my Steam library in alphabetical order. So we like games. Did you play through Everspace 2? Not completely. There's very little he hasn't played. Dedicated way. He's a complete legend in the world of gaming. I appreciate that. Only 1,396 games. Only. So interested in your head setup with the head tracking. This is a Track IR. It literally is 3 infrared beams and a webcam on top of the monitor that looks for the beams. So then I turn around, all of it gets tracked. So about the same as me. I haven't put time in. Yeah, once I put time in X4, I feel like I'm gonna live in that as well. RD with a follow, appreciate you. You're in open play. There's normally gankers in Shinra or Desert. I'm never in open. Keeping it a buck, I'm never in open. I'm not the only one with a Steam library like that. I feel like Steam sales alone do that. Steam sales require that you do that every now and then. All right, so now that we have a shield, we have, our shield is in the other location. So let's go to the other location, get the shield, and then we fly to the community goal. Did I already? You know what I think I did? I think I set that course before we sold off all the gear. So let me double check and make sure that we have. All right, 2 jumps. I thought we were gonna lose a jump. Did you say you're gonna play VR in the studio or in the living room? Not today. Did I say that today? Oh no. I have a Steam library like that because I watch DJ here for you. Once you understand what you're doing in X4, it's kind of unreal. Oh, I'm sure. That's part of the reason why, like, I know I didn't give it a whole stream day because it's 3.6 hours played. So, like, I feel like once I get into it, it's going to be a whole nother thing. And it's probably going to be another kind of game that we spend stupid amount of time in because I do that. Probably should be looking at the slot before I start going through it to make sure nobody's coming in or out, but too late. Oop! Oh, good lord. This is why I like shields. Bro, if you ram into me, we're gonna fight. How dare you? This is why I like shields, man, because I'm always crabbing something. Have I visited Hutton? Nope. EliteDangerous? Yes, indeed. Connor Kravitz. You know I'm infrequent in streams, but you know I'll always come back. Nearly 10 years I followed you and watched for a long time before that too. You're my longest followed streamer. I am honored for that, GT Mad. Can you put some love in chat, please, and thanks. I have like 140 games on Steam. I can't imagine having over 1,000 since I haven't played them all yet. That's fair. I've gone to so many Steam sales where they're like, you want to get the entire catalog of this developer for like $17? And I'm like, yes. Have you played Eve and enjoy it by chance? I know it's in here. There it is. 38 hours of in-game time just on stream. What is this game? This is EliteDangerous. It's right above my head. If you are in this stream and you are on a vertical platform, it should always be right above my face or below it. So yeah, when I say I like space games, I'm not joking. I really mean it. Like, I'm not gonna pick a space game that I love because I love my games for differing reasons. Blind as hell, you're fine, Box. Nobody knows. Like, it's there and plenty of people don't see it. You're absolutely good. I see the hard me, Carrie. Appreciate you. Engage, jump.
Jumping.
Also, I love the fact that this system is named Ash Tart. What? What? Still finding games I don't remember buying from Steam sales. Yes, the Steam sales do that for you every time. Every time, I swear. You play Helldivers 2? Lots of Helldivers 2. That game is absolutely dope. I 3D printed a Helldivers 2 helmet for technically I 3D printed 2 Helldivers 2 helmets. I printed the regular Helldivers 2 helmet, and then I printed the fancy one with the wings on the side, and I just never actually glued it together. Just for someone probably still in the Sidewinder, best money maker right now to move to an Anaconda. If you were comfortable, if you had a private group that you could go into, I would say participate in the community goal. Because right now, if you buy semiconductors, I feel like the community goal goes on for like another week. If you buy semiconductors at like $1,000, like, there shouldn't be any more than $1,000. If you have enough to fill up a cargo hold with them, they sell for 55 times the galactic standard in either the Fukadoc in the system if you choose Kane, and then there's another one if you choose Edward Mayan. You basically get, either way, you get to sell your materials, your semiconductors for 55 times the galactic standard. So in this ship, I had 720 inventory space. Engage jump.
Charging
Or
frame
should I say
shift
cargo
drive.
space? I had 720 cargo space. And then one full load cost me a little bit over $500,000. Like 600 million some change. And then when or 600,000 should I say, 600,000 and change. And then I sell it for 40 something million credits. So that is to me the easiest way to do it. That there is no buy low, sell high better right now. Remember us having long convos about you switching from teaching to streaming? It's been a long time. Don't regret a second, fam. Neither do I. I love working for myself. Imagine the players could name systems that'd be scary. Yes, I feel like that might be one of the things that happens eventually with the colonization. That seems like there's community goals. Yes, Conquer. If you've never seen the community goals for Elite Dangerous, the community goals are the things that drive the story along. Once we land at this port, I'll show you the community goal currently. I'm going to put in my new shield, show you the community goal, and then instead of going straight to the next goal, because if I buy it, oh wait, no, I do want to sell it, because if I buy and then deliver one more load, we will have broken 1 billion current cash, and I don't know if I've ever had 1 billion locally. But yeah, if you play in open, community goals have a tendency to get the majority of the Elite Dangerous community to play in one place. So if you're a ganker, go to where the community goals are. Find somebody who's out like, hey, how about you open up the cargo hold a little bit? Won't you drop me 20 tons? You could do that. That's a legitimate career in Elite. That's part of the reason why I don't play in open, because it's a legitimate career in Elite. You can earn 250 to 300 million an hour depending on how far you have to go to get it, how fast you are, and how much you had to pay. Are you talking about with this? Yeah, I'm only doing like 2 jumps. If I wasn't talking so much, we would be close to 2 mil probably. But we talk a lot in this stream. Haven't seen Elite Dangerous player in a while. How do you like it? I love Elite. I've been playing this game since November 2015. I've been playing Star Citizen since December 2015. It's the port I picked. It's not a bad trip. It's not. It's like 2 jumps. And if I really wanted to, we could be buying fruit and vegetables to make a full loop worth it. But like getting the fruit and vegetables and having 3 jumps back is only like 200,000 versus dropping here and then getting 40 something milli. Like, no, I'm just going to get the 45 mil. Sorry. Appreciate the follow, Valbino. Thank you much. Stop playing before the PlanetSide update. Ooh, if you're on PC, get it. Disengage cruise.
Drives disengage.
If you're on PC, get the Odyssey update. If you got it on Steam, it's literally only $9 to get Odyssey, and you get access to a lot of gameplay. You ever made the HUD and run? I've never made the HUD and run. I might need to make the run out to Beagle Point, just because I know lots of people are asking, and I feel like once we get the Mandalay out, I'll probably end up doing that. 700 to 1200 a unit, you're still pulling 45 mil in the big hauler. That part, literally. What do you think about the new carrier? The squad carrier, I have not seen it personally. I think I've only glanced at it because I know they talked about it in the Frontier Unlocked, and I have not put the time in to figure out. Deploy landing gear.
I'm deploying the landing.
I've not put the time in to figure out if it's something that I'm gonna rush to get, because our squadron is pretty small right now, right? Like I think Pyrophoric is in. There's only like 4 or 5 people in the squadron, so like we don't need a squadron carrier just yet. But I definitely am looking forward to the Panther Clipper for more community goals like this, because I'm hoping that the Panther Clipper is going to have over 1K inventory space, because that would be absolutely dope.
Taking damage.
Yeah, I had the feeling. Still profit, just not as good, literally.
Ship is down.
If you're buying from carriers that sell to you for like 30K and stuff, yeah, that's a lot. What's my favorite thing in Elite? Since Odyssey, the exobiome. Like, it takes a long time to go down to a planet and hope that it shows you the best location to find the life. But once you find it and turn in the data, the fact that if we look in the codex right now, like, I have 47 total discoveries. Biological discoveries, like, where's one of the coolest organic structures? There we go. Like, these are some of the random things that you can find while you're out in Elite Dangerous. So like Electric A. Somebody else found it first, but I submitted in the data. So basically, it works like real science. You say, hey, look, this exists. Somebody else finds it, and they turn it in, and they just confirmed what you did. They confirmed your find. So, like, this whole system, like, there's a bunch of stuff that you can actually just go find. And, like, the idea that there's life out there in any way, or biological anythings in the game, to me, like, I've always felt, I feel like I asked my uncle when I was a teenager, I was like, man, what do you think about there being more stuff in the universe? And he was like, the universe is far too big for us to be the only things in it. And that is the most I've agreed with anybody on anything ever. How to Star Citizen compare to this? They're very different, True Romance. Think of it this way. If somebody wanted to make a neighborhood, you could do it one of two ways. You could start at the neighborhood level of like having, all right, this is how we're going to have our houses set up. And then once we've got the houses set up, cool. Now that we can add in like the street signs and the stop signs. All right, now that we've got, oh wait, no, we still got to add roads. So put the houses where they need to be, then put the roads, and then put the street signs and the stop signs. And then once we've got those, we can put in like the piping for the water and stuff like that. That's Elite. If you're like Star Citizen, you start at the house level. All right, cool. So let's make a house. Let's start with a room. All right, so we're in a room. We need doors. We need hallways. We need other rooms. So let's make a hallway. Let's make another room. And then once we, oh, wait, we need a living room. We need bathrooms. We need a kitchen. So then you build a house. Once you've built a house, it's easier to just properly build the other houses. And then once you build the other houses, then you can focus on the streets. But like Elite started at a neighborhood level. They built the entire neighborhood. And then they populated the little stuff update by update. So Horizons, giving you the ability to land on planes, would be like being able to open the doors and go into a house. You couldn't drive. Actually, no, it would be more like more like making a state and then driving the different neighborhoods in the state. But Star Citizen, being what it is and the way that they developed it, started at like, all right, cool, here's a house, here's the rooms. So like, they're developing from the ground up. EliteDangerous developed from the sky, from the galaxy down. And that's why they play so differently. That's why everything works very differently. So I like them because of the process. I don't want to choose which one I like more, because why? Why choose one that does something differently for doing something differently? Like, why would you be mad at anybody for doing something in a way that makes sense for them? Does that make sense? Like, it's like part of the reason why I'm down for all of these games is because they're doing something that not many people are comfortable trying to do. You can do both, literally. What's the best moneymaker right now? I haven't played in over a year. Personally, I feel like it's the community goal that's happening right now. I did say I was going to check out the community goals. Approximate time played 6 weeks for. How many hours is it? 6 weeks, 4 hours, and 10 minutes. Appreciate the rose, Lala. Thank you very much. 1,012.17 hours in Elite. Let's see. Exo still plays great, but I'm pretty sure this currently still pays more. Oh no, I would agree. And like just time-wise, if you have the time to haul in Elite, the community goal is just your best bet right now. So let me buzz open the community goal. If we go into the mission board and community goals, we can talk about it. So right now, earn rewards by delivering semiconductors, ceramic composites, and synthetic fabrics to Fukadoc in the Apura system. This is a competitive goal. You must choose a side, and you may only sign up to one initiative at a time. I purposefully wanted to choose Kane, because if I were to choose a superpower, it would be Kane because mining. But TLDR, if you, like right now I'm in the top 50%, which means I would get 160 million credits. But in my current ship, when I load this thing up and deliver, I spend 600,000 credits and then make 40 million on turn in. So if I were to hop over to Edmund Mayon's side, they are way higher. So their top 50% receives 180 instead of 130, but they all still get, if you participate at all, you get 6A, 4A, 3A, 4D, and 3D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pre-engineered power distributors. with the system and just focused modifications, and the credits that you get for the completion of it entirely of itself. If we're in the top 75%, you get double. So that means you get 10 pre-engineered power distributors. So 6A, 4A, 3A, 4D, and 3D will fit a bunch of different ships. So that means you have at least 2 ships of the same size that you can fit already pre-engineered power distributors in. Come on, that's easy game. Haven't seen anyone stream Elite in a long time. This game isn't dead at all. I have not made the trip to Sajay. Which chat is more active, this or Twitch? I feel like TikTok is more active. Base reason to pick a faction. I mean, yeah. You got some CQC rank going. I mean, I have some. Very little. Very little. You can go ahead and log in and get that community goal. Do it. How long is the community event going on? The community goal is still up for another 4 days, 8 hours, and 12 minutes. It always goes until typically Wednesday night. So yeah, because Wednesday night in US time, in Central time, is about when they do the server refresh. So the whole new server, like, that's when the game goes down for maintenance and then it comes up. So if you finish up, if you start a colonization effort and you get your station built and you get all that in before Wednesday night, Thursday when you log back in, your station will be completely built. Does this game have base building? This game has more than that. This game has colony building. You can choose a space, you can choose an entire star system and then be the system architect of it. Choose where stuff goes. It's dope. So I'm going to put the shields back in here just so that we can have the shields on it before I have to like call the shields from somewhere else. Had so many hours in this game and they dropped it from console. To be fair, Jay Pringle, they dropped it from console because as a developer, they just couldn't afford to keep the 2 bases up. They needed to shrink down to 1 code base. And also Odyssey dropped during COVID, which means that was a time frame where they had to let go of a bunch of people. And really adding in the fact that updating on consoles, if it was what I remember having heard it to be when I was teaching game design, it costs like 10 grand to submit an update, a major update for a console game. And if it costs 10 grand for them to submit an update for Elite, and we're talking about community goals that are weeks long or multiple weeks long. So if it's a 2-week community goal, that means that they need to pay 10 grand at least twice a month just on 1 console, which means 2 consoles means 40 grand that they have to spend every month. And if they're not making 40 grand in game, does it make sense to keep supporting in that way?
Shields online.
Financially, it probably doesn't. But in addition to that, the goal, the joy of it is, if you have a PC and you've been making progress on console, you can still bring over your name, your progress, some of your inventory. I feel like a lot of your inventory. Maybe if no one has your username on PC, you can take that as well. It's dope. Get to at least 75% in either faction. Apparently, they now changed it that both get double power distributors now. Yes, they did. They did change that. I just feel like I like the idea of being in the one that makes more. I feel like they just put that update out like a couple days ago in the forums. I might try it. Doesn't hurt. If you are only still on console, you can still play it on console, and then when you switch to PC, you just take your stuff over to PC that way. It's a heroic amount of hours in Elite when you stream variety and very busy person. True facts. Appreciate it. We got the Draco's Corner Table with the golden gamepad and Jay Pringle with the golden gamepad.
Appreciate you.
Pagan. Not only have I played both, this is just my stream hours. I've played both a lot. A lot. Whole lot. So, different is what you're looking for. I mean, to you, Star Citizen may be better. To me, I feel like they both are better in different ways. EliteDangerous is actually a way to actually... CG pays out more right now. I mean, the CG pays out stupidly. Absolutely stupidly. 55 times the galactic price on anything is stupid, but spending 1,000 and making 55,000 is just a thing you do, given the chance. Which is better in your opinion? I don't think that there's a better, really, because for all intents and purposes, Star Citizen is a absolutely fantastic game, but it is different. Star Citizen is a first-person shooter that focuses on space. EliteDangerous is a space flight sim that has first-person shooting as an element. So it depends on what you're in the mood for. So if I'm in the mood for exploration and actually finding new shit, I'm not going to do that in Star Citizen because it doesn't exist yet. It exists in Elite. in a way that I can go and find a whole new star system that no one's found before. And anybody who goes to that star system in perpetuity until this game stops and ceases to exist, until the server shut down for forever, my name will forever be in this game as the person who found that star system. Star Citizen doesn't have that yet. They're building in the idea of having a reputation that follows you and matters, but it isn't in yet in the way that it is in Elite. So I don't choose. I don't make this decision. This is not something that I'm saying lightly. I like both. If I want to go do some shooty bang bang, Star Citizen is my choice. Even though Elite has on foot combat, Star Citizen has a more diverse on foot combat weapon and armor engagement. Star Citizen has far more armor fits and weapon fits and levels of armor, light armor, medium, heavy. Like, Star Citizen is way deeper there than Elite is. Elite has some of that, but Star Citizen is deeper in it. So, like, it depends on what you're in the mood for. Which do you want? They both are great. Just make sure you have your expectations for what you're in the mood for. That's why when people say, like, oh, should I get this or that? I have both. I've had both for a decade, and I purposefully don't choose because choosing seems silly. ¿Por qué no los dos? Why would I not have both? If David Braben, the person who started, and if memory serves, is still the CEO of Frontier Developments, if he backed Star Citizen when Star Citizen was in Kickstarter, and Chris Roberts, who created Star Citizen, backed EliteDangerous when it was in Kickstarter, why would I choose if the people who are making the competitors in a way? If you look at it the way that most people look at it, they're competitors. If they can support each other's products, why would I not do the same? Especially when Elite's on sale right now for the deluxe version that includes Odyssey. If you don't have Elite at all, you can go to EliteDangerous with Odyssey for $10. Get it. Try it for yourself. Engage jump.
Unable to comply.
I'm still too close. Spend 5 hours in there just so that you can not refund it and then actually just have it. And then worst case scenario, you see something later that makes you want to switch it. And, I might try that out. Good. Engage jump.
Frame shift drive.
They both want to give us an insane space game, and they're doing it exactly that. Exactly that. And you put it almost perfectly, Matt. If you can afford to buy both, try it. Star Citizen is insane fidelity with a future of much more. EliteDangerous is a vote game that is still expanding, but maybe a little less minute detail. That is the perfect way to describe it, because it may not. They don't aim to do the same thing. The minute detail that you find in stuff in Star Citizen, like cups being able to hold a drink, like Elite doesn't have eating and drinking, which, in my opinion, is a good thing. This is a story game or MMO. It is a mix of multiplayer, but there is a story. It's just, this is very much a sandbox. EliteDangerous is very much the kind of game that says, hey, look, go do something. Go have some fun. I dare you. Engage jump.
Jumping.
EliteDangerous is very much a sandbox. They put you into a lot of stuff, and it's like, hey, look, do what you want. What do you use for head tracking? This is the Track IR. I think this game is better than Star Citizen. I mean, that's perfectly fair. And there's nothing wrong with thinking that this is better than Star Citizen or Star Citizen is better than this, because it's a personal preference, right? There's nothing wrong with personal preference. But one of the things I regularly go back to is this is a complete game. This game is done. It is complete. It is released. They're adding expansions to a complete product. Star Citizen is still in alpha. They need to hurry up and release Squadron 42 just so that, one, people can understand, like, the collective community, like, PogChamp that it's going to happen. When people realize, once they release Squadron 42, that they were working on both of them at the same time, because people really don't know that. When that happens, when they release Squadron 42, and people are like, wait a minute, this is a single player game? I thought it was just the MMO. Engage jump.
Engaging jump drive.
Use an R to find the place to buy stuff? I did, Cord. Thanks for answering that question, Newton. Give people a new way to get in? Yep. Very sandbox of many universe systems? Yep. Never played Star Citizen, but I did play a bit of Starfield. Starfield is absolutely dope. I'll get it since it's 70% off. Good choice. Haven't played it since they stopped support on console, but love that game so much. Nix boy, you can still keep playing. And question, Nix, do you have a PC? Or do you still only rock console? There was a game that had all the good points of both games. I think it still wouldn't be a perfect space game, and that's fine. Exactly. Absolutely that. That is a very factual thing. So many hours in this game. I have 4 billion credits. My favorite chip is great. Hell yeah. Glad to hear that. Don't have a PC, just console? Okay, cool. So first things first, you can still keep playing this on console. It's just that it doesn't have all the updates that the PC version has because they had to split their code bases to even get it to function on consoles. And during COVID, they had to fire a bunch of people. And to probably keep going, they consolidated it down to one code base, which means a PC only. It would be too expensive to maintain console with the amount of people they had, so they just dropped it. But if you find that you're going to find a PC at some point in the future and you keep playing Elite, you will still, like right now, they still have it up to where you can transfer your character with all of your stats, with all of your stuff over to PC. So you don't have to. I can understand the frustration of them not being able to support it in the same way, but I feel like that was a financial decision mostly. But if you get a PC later, you literally can take your stuff over to PC and then get the update and still have all the stuff that you've been wanting now. Plus, I started with the Eagle Pack and it never let me download it, and I fiend for the game. If you bought it, I don't think there's a ship called the Eagle in Star Citizen, so you may need to look for something. Is the soundtrack fire in this? Absolutely dope. I'd like to see what Rockstar could do with a sci-fi game. Oh my god, if Rockstar made a space game with the fidelity or focus they put in the GTA, it would be dope. This or Eve. Personally, I want direct control of my ships, so I would say this. Also, fam, don't forget we are sponsored by Alienware right now. This is currently an Alienware Strummerino. I'm wanting to talk about my personal joys of the 32. There's so many letters in the name. The 3225 QF, which is the monitor that I'm using, is QD OLED, and it's curved. It's 32 inches. This thing is dope. I'm a big fan. Big fan. So, exclamation Alienware for the deets if you want to check it out. And then also, I know it's not the ProLine mouse, and I know they want you to look at the ProLine mouse, but this is the mouse that I've been using from Alienware because I need that thumb rest and I need my side buttons. It's got everything I need in a mouse. It's dope. Let's see, I feel like getting a Steam Deck or something along those lines would also be a valid way to play this, since you can connect the keyboard and mouse to the Steam Deck. Apparently, the Steam Deck plays this fantastically. If you play on console, holy shit, if you play on console, you could literally transfer and have the same controls. Good God. That's a great point. Got so excited when Space Legs was released, but soon after came the not for console. That's fair, because it launched in 2021, man. That's mid-COVID. And like we were talking about earlier, when I was teaching people game design, one of the things that I had seen was that updating a game on console required like 10K, because they had to like go through, check, make sure nothing was broken with your game, make sure you don't basically allow people to like play, stolen games, stuff like that. So updating Xbox and PlayStation would cost like $40,000 a month if they do 2-week-long community goals. That's a lot. So like, if they weren't making $40,000 a month on console, I support them in that decision. I'm glad they're still around as a company. Disengage Cruise.
Disengaging.
I've always thought about PC, just haven't made the purchase yet. I mean, you could do something like the Steam Deck, which is less than the cost of a Series X. Or something like the ROG Ally, which is like just a mobile game console that runs Windows. Like, you got a lot of options that are portable PC experiences. Like, I feel like this would run on the Steam Deck problem free. And if you played on Xbox, then you could do the transfer without having to spend the money that you would spend on a PC and then take it with you on the go. You could be playing EliteDangerous on your couch. Now, mind you, I feel like there's a lot of small text, so you may not want to do that. But you also, with the Steam Deck and even like the ROG Ally, have the ability to connect it to your computer so that you can basically do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want.
We don't have to do this.
You can plug it into your monitor and then have it like on your TV and then be playing it on your couch. Like, you got options, a lot of options. Deploy landing gear.
Lowering gear.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Currently deciding between Alienware and Samsung monitor. Good timing for them to sponsor you. I mean, I'm on Team Liquid. I'm not like a player on Team Liquid. You won't catch me like being at any tournaments, but I'm a content creator for Team Liquid. So like, it's a package deal. So you have voice attack with HTS voice packs. I do. Playing on PS5, love it. Working on ranking up to get the Corvette. Just got the Ensign. Hell yeah, Caleb. Sentient with a follow. Also use virtual pro glasses on my Steam Deck. Nice. Decided to pick this up for PC much right after. Hell yeah, Ruda Zutter. Just like Star Citizen, it's different from Star Citizen. They're both doing similar things, just in different ways. Like, they both aim to make a great space game that has sim features, and they're just doing it from different angles. You make landing look so easy. I appreciate that, fam, because I crash a lot. Like, I think Bethesda's married to their outdated, janky in-house engine. I feel like there's been rumors that they were moving to Unreal for the newest game they're working on. Should I say Elder Scrolls 6? How these devs justify making games for last-gen consoles at this point? Is PS4 still making money? Gamer me. I feel like when this dropped, it was in 2021, and I feel like the new consoles only dropped in 2020. So let me make sure I'm not incorrect. Because the PS5 and the Series X launched within like a month or two of each other, if that long. Autodoc's lifesaver, yeah, but it also takes up one of your slots. When was the launch day? Yep, November 12th, 2020. So, guess what was also happening in 2020? Within 6 months of the launch of the new consoles is when Odyssey dropped. So it would be unfair of them to remove the new consoles or the older consoles from the equation. Why make Cyberpunk 2077 for PS4? Oh, easy. Cyberpunk released, I feel like that same year, 2020. The install base of the PS4 was massive. You couldn't find PS5s. I'm lucky that I got one from Sony directly. Sony sent me a PS5. Sony was like, "You want a PS5, DJ?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, I want a PS5." I've had every PlayStation, so of course I wanted a PS5. But on launch date of the PS5, or even this, how many PS4s were? What was the PlayStation 4 install base in 2020? Very trying all the dog pilot, but it does play nice music, but that music gets muted on YouTube. Trying to see. I'm trying to find if there's a specific place to find the install base. Reject optional. I never want all the deets, bro. Just show me the specifics. I know there's a place that has it, and I want to find it. Not the same place. Ooh. More than 113 million as of worldwide PlayStation 4 units. Luckily, you can find this on Sony's website. Of 2020, they were just sales of that. PlayStation 4 install base was 117 million as of 2022. Think about that. In the, 2020? So 5 years. Not even 5 years. 4 years and some change. In the 4 years and some change since the PS5 released, they've sold 77 million. But the PS4 is still sitting at 117 million. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. A lot. Let's see. Wait a minute. PlayStation 4 software unit sales in millions. Okay, yeah. So they don't count it. As of 2019, they were still selling 276 million software unit sales. Worldwide PS4 and 5 software unit sales in millions. So across both, it's 303. That's silly, though. Silly. And if we go back to the original thing I was looking for, more than 113 million as of September 30th, 2020. So when the PS5 came out and nobody had them, there were 113 million PS4 owners. Let's see. In your opinion, could a focusing on the PS4 and 5 and PC be what made the release as bad as it was? No. The release was bad because they rushed releasing to consoles at all. I literally know that it was 2020 because I got COVID in 2020 and I sequestered in the studio. Like we sequestered in place basically. We went to our separate spaces and existed. So like in here, I had Cyberpunk on the Xbox and Cyberpunk on the PlayStation. On the PlayStation, every 2 hours it would crash to dashboard. On Xbox, it didn't do that, but it had more visual glitching. On PC, I had
0 issues
aside from a T-pose. There's one specific freeway off-ramp that if I got off the off-ramp, my character would T-pose. I would still be driving, but he would pop up out of the car, T-pose, and then at the bottom of the ramp, he would get back into the car. So the biggest issue that we've been discussing the entire time we've been talking about what has been going on with the consoles is that I think it was Minerva that had the entire problem with Cyberpunk was the rush to launch at all. It was the rush to launch. So we need to go to a Starlace station in Minerva, and then we can go get the Mandalay, and then we can go to our star system, and that should be enough to rock out the end of the stream. Slow deceleration is a problem because I fly like a madman. Fair enough. How do you land properly in this? Always overshoot? Like in what way? 139 layers? That's not too bad. It's like 6 or 7 jumps. Played Star Citizen when it came out. This looks way cleaner, but I haven't played Star Citizen, so I mean, Star Citizen is not out yet though. Star Citizen is an alpha. It's available to be played, but it's not fully released. 1.0, I don't think they've officially announced a 1.0 date. They've announced the things that they intend to have for 1.0 to drop, but they don't have all those things in place yet. I always go past the planet even at 50% engine. Oh, that happens, fam. That's one of the things that I look for is, like, you know how you have the number that shows your time to the location right underneath your speed? Put that at about 15 or 9. Between 9 and 15 really, I feel like is the sweet spot for me, but that's how you slow down enough to not immediately go past your point. Otherwise, you're going to end up doing the loop of shame, which I do many loops of shame. What's that on your head? This is a track IR, which allows me to do this. I thought I wasn't moving for a second.
Make way for oncoming traffic, Commander. Restrict your speed.
I'm not restricting my speed. I'm trying to dip. What y'all talking about?
Trespassers will be eliminated.
That rush to release games become a thing for a while. Seems like overall it would hurt a team's development team's reputation. I mean, to be fair, that is the thing for the game industry. Sadly, it's not just. It didn't stop. It hasn't stopped. People that bought Cyberpunk on sale after some updates get a better deal for a better game. This is true, but I feel like that decision was up to the boards that decide when to release games. Because realistically, like we've discussed it many times, if they released only on PC when they released Cyberpunk and then gave it 6 months to release for console, we would not be talking about Cyberpunk the way that we have been. Because I feel like CD Projekt Red has regularly had an experience of releasing games that aren't necessarily the best. Like Witcher 3 was not. Witcher 3 was buggy AF on console when it launched. But over time, they fixed it. So I feel like they might have thought they could do that again with Cyberpunk, and they just didn't realize how bad it was breaking on the previous generations. So if you notice with the latest update that had the Idris Elba update, for example, like that did not release on the previous generation. They couldn't because they realized it was a horrible idea. Loves the game so much, space exploration games, my niche, big same. What game is this called? EliteDangerous. Star Citizen better, it says you. I play both. Witcher 3 is one of the best games I played. Big same, but like when it launched in rough shape. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just the hype train had gotten too high for Cyberpunk for them to release in that state. Which is why whenever a developer says, we're going to delay for 6 months. Like when people got pissed off when they said GTA should be delayed for a year, never be upset. When a company is telling you, imagine how much money GTA 5 makes for Rockstar and understand that they know that GTA 6 needs to hit. If they feel like it needs a little bit more polish, shut the up and let them polish it. Because a horribly released game is always going to be horribly released. People still don't know whether or not they can trust Cyberpunk, and Cyberpunk's been good for years. Engage jump.
Jumping.
Only thing announced is Star Citizen Squadron 42 in 2026. And even that's tentative. SIG will not rush it. They made that clear. Oh yeah, that's part of the reason why I back Star Citizen. Because to special those who run supercomputers. I mean, that's fair, Mr. Wallace, but also they've done a really good job of updating Star Citizen. Like, they have DLSS now. If you have an NVIDIA card, they have FSR. If you have an AMD card, they have Vulkan support. It's still not fully there, but it's in there. And yeah, people still dump on No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky has been fantastic since about a year after they launched it. Once it launched and people dumped on it, Hello Games said nothing for like a year. And then they came out with updates and like, all right, cool, here's the foundation on how we're going to make it. No Man's Sky in and of itself is such a fantastic game that if you have not played it since launch, you're doing yourself a disservice to not try it again. Engage jump.
Jumping.
How'd you feel about the Odyssey update being canceled on next-gen consoles? I feel like they canceled it on all consoles, Adobe does. We've had that discussion in here multiple times, even today, because it costs too much. The previous generation of consoles couldn't run Odyssey because Odyssey didn't run smooth on my gaming PC.
Here is something for you.
I've been streaming full-time since 2016. I've had bomb-ass gaming PCs. Odyssey ran bad enough on PC that I stopped playing it. So, no. Oh! Tell me we have one of these jumps. I see somebody asked a question and said, never mind, give me a second. I'm still going to answer it. I'm answering a bunch of questions from a bunch of places at the same time, so forgive me. Wait for it, wait for it. There we go. We may not even need to supercharge, but I wanted to have done it just in case. We all get impatient. Good things come to those who wait. Best thing I learned as a kid back in the 80s. Fair enough. Don't even care. The game is Elite Dangerous. Literally on the screen, like, right? Game, Elite Dangerous. That's there, if that was the question. Consoles in 2025 don't make sense no more, let's just be honest. I mean, they're always going to make sense. Because, think about it. At this point, even with PCs, there are always going to be enthusiasts. As long as they provide parts, somebody's going to want to upgrade their own stuff. But the key about consoles, and really the thing that it's not about the console itself, it's about the platform. Think about it. With iPhones, they release new iPhones every year because they can get away with it, because it's people use their phones every day. They don't release new PlayStations and Xboxes every year. They may release refreshed versions after 3 or 4 years, but the key about consoles is you have a set requirement of a baseline. You have this level processor, you have this level GPU, you have this much RAM. Do what you want to with that space. That's why consoles will forever exist. That's why they're forever going to be a thing. Because even with PCs, that's why pre-builts exist. Because you know you will have a set minimum of what you can at least be able to play. Which is why it's there. And if you're talking about what Elite Dangerous is about, I saw the question from, I feel like it was still Lewis that was asking the first question. The game is a sandbox, but mostly space. So like, what happens in space? Exploration, trade, combat, aliens, everything in between. It's a lot. There's a lot to it. It's essentially a space sandbox with all those features. I run games at 400, 500 quality games. I'm on 5090 graphics. Build can't go back to console. That's fair, but keep in mind when the consoles drop, like the new consoles, part of the reason that consoles do what they do well is because they have, when they launch, slightly better than what's available on the market, GPU wise. Like the GPUs in the Series X and the PS5 are both AMD GPUs, but they dropped and you couldn't get that tier GPU from AMD for 6 to 8 months. Now, if you have that on your PC, you'll probably be good for this entire gaming cycle, just because most devs want to stay within the confines of being able to be released on console if they're not making something that requires 50 buttons. Engage jump.
Jumping.
Star Citizen expensive to get the good stuff for DLCs. Star Citizen is $45 at the base package. You never really need to spend more than that. Anything you decide to spend more than that is much like a Kickstarter of saying, hey, look, I want to see you continue to make this game, so I'm going to give you more than I needed to. The most you ever need to spend on Star Citizen is $60. Elite Dangerous you can get right now with Odyssey, which is the DLC that allows you to walk around on your feet for $9. $10 actually. $9 is if you have Elite Dangerous already and you want to get just the expansion. Let's see how many light years are we talking for the next jump. 36. Yeah, we still need to hit this. So many people who still on the game on consoles. Yeah, because consoles don't require thousands of dollars. A good PC is going to run you a couple grand. Not everybody has a couple grand, man. You might spending 500 is a lot for a lot of people. So giving people the ability, and realistically, the key to consoles and their dominance is the fact that when they launch, you know how I said like the AMD chips that are similar to the ones in the console you couldn't get for 6 to 8 months? That's because of, what's the word? I just had it in my head. Subsidization. These major companies subsidize the cost of these consoles. They pay you pay less than they cost to make initially, but over the course of the console lifecycle, it becomes cheaper to make because they keep making them better. So when it becomes cheaper to make, that's when they start pulling profit in. I feel like the biggest difference between all these console manufacturers is that Nintendo typically makes their money from jump, whereas Microsoft and Sony typically subsidize their consoles because you might only spend $500 for the console, but the hardware might cost $7. But they're taking a loss because Microsoft specifically knows that to get the best out of an Xbox, you want to get Xbox Game Pass, which means you need to spend $20 a month if you want to get it for Xbox and PC, or $12 a month if you want it for Xbox, and then not have to spend another dime, but you're still in the Microsoft ecosystem. And over the course of the lifetime of the console, about 8 years, if they're charging you $12 a month, they're getting you for $144 a year. So over the course of near a decade, or a decade itself, you're making $1,440 off of somebody for getting a console that you charge them $200 less than what it costs. So you only made $1,200 profit, but that's still $1,200 profit. Engage jump.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2.
Haven't I heard about this game? Looks so insane. Oh, because it's been out for a while, but it does not get as much love on console as it used to. But if you have a PC, by all means, $10. This game is on PC. We are on PC. It is on console. It's just that the console does not have all the updates that the PC has. Now you let your man delay switch, should be fine. Mine is only like 40 something, I think. I still need to do more mat gathering so that I can fully engineer it. Elite's been out since 2013.
Checking systems now.
About that. I feel like I knew about it in 2014. My buddy gave it to me as a gift in early 2015.
Census for long.
I feel like the Kickstarter was in 2012, so I don't know if they got it done in a year.
Cartography database.
Should do it for a purpose. Not allowed to do out there. Oh, GT man. For me, when I go to SAJ, I'm going out there for mostly exploration reasons.
Jump range has been increased.
Mostly exploration reasons. I just want to go out there and do some exobio, because coming back with all the exobio data that you'll get going to SAJ, I'll probably come back with $5 billion. I'll probably come back and make enough money to get a fleet carrier and be fine. Engage jump.
Charging.
Do I like Starfield? I love Starfield. El Patron with a follow as well as Josh. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. I got a state law change for solar in Texas this week. Wait, you got a state law changed? What? How? What happened? Enlighten me. I live in Texas and I'm trying to look into some solar. Hook it up. For me, the trip is an experience. Exactly that. The trip will be dope in and of itself, but also the money is also going to be a bonus. You're not doing the community goal? Josh, we literally just got done doing the community goal to the point where I am now elite in trade. I just got elite last night. And I've been playing since 2010, so that can tell you how much I wasn't really focused on buying low, selling high in the game. Would you say Star Citizen's worth a try, or should I stick to my elite? I've been playing both since 2015, and I feel like they've both come ridiculously long distances in what they have available in them over the course of this last decade. I've played more Star Citizen than Elite on stream. And really, I feel like I've played, like I love both games. There's not a question of that. So if you're interested in Star Citizen, I would say do it easily. No worries, Josh. That's why I explained what we just got done doing. Appreciate you asking. Back in 2022, my HOA tried to say I couldn't install a solar roof in my house because the solar roof tiles wouldn't match my neighbor's roofs. The law they tried to use was written in 2006, and I just got the new law updated to make clear that solar roof tiles should be treated the same. Should be treated the same as regular solar panels. Huh. So basically, you had solar roof tiles? Because I didn't know they had solar roof tiles. I'm out there. Be careful, there's a lot of solar scams out here. I mean, there's solar scams everywhere. Just love open world space games, but never could afford a PC for Star Citizen. I mean, that's fair. You can play Elite on console, it just does not have all the updates that the PC has. I think Star Citizen is a lot further behind than Elite. They seem to be more interested in trying to sell. See, Josh, I feel like a lot of people get caught up in the negativity of the fact that they are basically still developing their game in their own publisher, that it's easy to not see how far that game has come. I feel like a lot of the press that happens about Star Citizen is negative press. So I really am not, I'm not sad at people for only hearing bad things. I'm just sad that the amount of things that they've done in Star Citizen that no one else has done in gaming is being overshadowed by some angry people. Why is it everyone so casual about Star Citizen release $45,000 bundles? Lewis, because you never need to spend $45,000. That's it. The 45,000, if it's even $45,000 bundle. I know they have like a 10K bundle, but even the 10K bundle is for a squadron of people. That's for what's the word? That's for an organization. That's for a bunch of people that are going to do a bunch of stuff. And really, it's for independently wealthy people, disengaged crews.
Disengaging.
Who decide they want to support a project. That's it. Like, how many mobile games have you played that have $100 things that it makes 0 sense to have a $100 anything? Like, that happens all the time. Denied, bitch. My ship is in there. YouTube, Star Citizen, almost all the top videos are talking about the money they've made. Yeah, but first things first, the real thing is, for me, and yes, I'm on Twitch too as well, Josh. Why does it matter how much they've made if they have 5 studios and they have to pay people to make games? When did it become a thing where people needed to know about what developers are making? I don't give a shit what they made, because I know that they have 5 studios. They've hired more people, I feel like, every year, and they're at like maybe over 1,000 people. How much does it cost to pay 1,000 people when your average employee salary is 100K? Right? Like, let's do that math here in a second. So if I have, let's say, 1,000 employees, and average, because we know that if you want to hire a good developer, you're paying more than $100,000 a year. So it's $100 million. Now, mind you, they didn't have that many people to start with. They started at like 8 to 12, and then they slowly ramped up. But if we only had 700 people, and let's even lower the average to something like 60 grand, that's still $42 million over the course of a decade. Why did I do that by 42? 420 million. If they made 800 billion and you average out 420 million just for staff, just for like them being able to feed their families and paying their health care, is half of the money they've made over the course of a decade. Why the fuck are people mad about it? Excuse my American. What is this filter? I've deleted nothing, Cater, and I'm the mod. So TikTok may have decided that you didn't need to put that in chat. That had nothing to do with me. Touched grass on Odyssey release, pre-ordered, enjoyed low FPS everywhere, and left for a year and a half. I feel like coming back, amazing, great. Speaking of good developers, I have to get back into Warframe. Digital Extremes are very good developers. They are some of my favorite developers because Warframe remains one of my favorite gaming experiences of all time. Appreciate that, man. I hope you have the same if you are about to head out. We have about 3-ish minutes before we head out, but I did want to switch over to... I was going to go to the starting system. I wonder if I can get it done real quick. I know this TikTok's filter was insane. I didn't do it, fam. That's all I'm saying. I didn't do it. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. And yes, we're going to dinner. Use the ship. All right, so now we've switched to the ship. So when we come back, remind me that we're going to go to probably Monday, I think it is. Monday or Tuesday. We're going to go and hopefully get to Shinra to Desra. But also, I didn't book. Did I bookmark my system? This is our system. 239 light years from where we are. So this is the Night Core system. I'm so excited that we have one. Nasty Boy with the follow. Appreciate it. EliteDangerous is a slow-paced game and doesn't have a story. It is a slow-paced game. It does have a story, but there is so much more that's been added on to the story. I'll give you a quick rundown of how the story works. It is a sandbox, like I was talking about earlier, Lewis. The key, though, is the community goals are what drive the story in EliteDangerous. Someone in my squadron finished my station for me while I was out of town. That's dope, Octopilot. We had somebody that was watching, came over from the TikTok, and then delivered like 5,000 of a resource that I couldn't even have. They brought their fleet carrier and delivered 5,000 resources so that we could get the whole system finished. So it is ours. It's done. We're ready to go. Dope. But yeah, the community in Elite, dope. This is how the story moves. Right now, the biggest story is about the trade war between Nakato Kane and Edward Mayan. Now, you can pick a side either way, but the goal is the same. Deliver ceramic composites, semiconductors, or synthetic fabrics to one of the docks. Once you've picked a side, you deliver it. They're paying 55 times what the galactic average is on the pricing for it. So what we were doing was what got us to over 1 billion credits right now. We were starting this at 600. So we went from 600,000 credits or 600 million credits to over 1,000 or over 1 billion credits, my bad, in the course of a couple of days of talking during stream. If I was off stream, we'd have made so much more money. But I talk a lot on stream. But this is the story. So every week or two, they put out a community goal. Everybody in the game plays and participates in that community goal. You get a bunch of rewards. Like you're going to get, like right now, we're going to get 160 million credits in addition to a bunch of engineered modules, 10 engineered modules that like have been fully engineered for power modules that have been fully engineered for, what is it? Systems and engines. So they're going to be beastly engineered modules that you could only get on
modules.
Thanks. You could only get during this community goal, or you'd have to engineer them yourself. So in my opinion, EliteDangerous is one of the best games because aside from that community goal, do what you want. That's it. Also, thanks again to Alienware for sponsoring the second portion of our stream. I am still in here rocking out with my Alienware 3225QF monitor. This thing is running at 4K, 32 inches, QD OLED.
The blacks are sensational.
And we've literally been running at like 244 hertz this whole time. So like, it's a delightful thing. It's a delightful experience. If you haven't checked it out, type in !Alienware on Twitch. If you're on YouTube, in the description, we've got the link to the Alienware ProLine goodies. I know they have the ProLine mouse. I personally don't like the ProLine mouse as much as I like this one because I need my side buttons, and I feel like the ProLine mouse is more dedicated to like FPS, like pro players. I'm not a pro player, so I don't think I'd do that. But choose your reward right now. You got 1 minute and 30 some seconds. But in the meantime, I'm gonna be popping this outro so that we can go do dinner. Thank you again to Alienware and Thrustmaster for sponsoring our portions of the stream. Super dope evening. I hope y'all have a fantastic night. If you've never been here before and you are enjoying yourself and you haven't hit that follow, do it. Follows cost you nothing. Follows are free. Follows are absolutely free. They cost you nothing. Also, if you're on Twitch and you haven't typed in !House, if you type in !House, you will be sorted into a house. Now, mind you, we're going to end up doing it over again Monday because we're starting the new houses for the month of June that are going to be focused on Dune. What's the word? the Dune game that's coming out early access Friday. Also, we got the gifted sub from Dietrich D. Appreciate you gifting Procubus, a sub of Reno, and Hydralisk. What was that, a 5 drop? Damn! See, now we got to eat a bean before I go. You would do this right before dinner. It is a green bean that is either booger or juicy pear. It's booger. And it just reminds me that somebody made a point that I had never paid attention to. They're like, if you eat the booger one, it tastes like a booger and it has the same consistency, which I dislike personally. Don't like. Not a fan. It's gonna make dinner taste so much better. That's
savage.
Absolutely savage. And we got the blessing. So everybody chose blessing. Appreciate your support. Seriously though, thank you to Alienware for sponsoring this portion of the stream. Thank you to Thrustmaster for sponsoring the first part of the stream. If you are here and you haven't hit the follows are free. Cost you nothing to hit that follow button. If you're on YouTube, that's a subscription. Your presence is a present. I appreciate the gift. Thank you for allowing me to remain a full-time entertainer. I'm absolutely honored at the possibility that I get to remain someone who entertains for a living. Family, it is, to say it's an honor, I feel like is not saying enough. I'm absolutely appreciative. Thank you so much. And we'll be back Monday. Love your faces. Love your butts. We'll see you soon.